and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and face the south end zone as the Blanchard High School Choir and members of the Blanchard Honor Guard and Boy Scouts of America, Troop 234, honor America with the singing of the national anthem.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today. Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Good evening. Welcome to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex in Blanchard, Oklahoma. Tonight, it's the Blanchard Lions taking on Bridge Creek in a little district action as Blanchard looks to improve to 7-1 on the season. I'm Todd Lisenby along with Drake Vitito. And Drake, Blanchard Lions coming off another big win last week at Classen on the Thursday night game. You get the long week to prepare for Bridge Creek. And then you got a big one next week against Bethany here at home. Two more chances to see the Blanchard Lions here in the regular season at the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex, and you hope for two in the postseason, and that starts with taking care of business tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Todd. We've kind of been hinting at it these past couple of weeks, even dating back all the way to that Tuttle game. These next 2 weeks, talking about Classen last week and this week against Bridge Creek, was a little bit of a get-right spot for this Blanchard team. Obviously, there's a couple of injuries nagging the Lions, and these 2 weeks were a really good spot for those guys, in particular that we'll talk about here coming up shortly, to get right. And that's not sitting here us disrespecting Classen SAS or Bridge Creek. That's us simply saying that, you know, if the Lions go out and do what they're supposed to do and they take care of business, then, you know, these two teams should be nothing compared to what the Lions had to endure those last couple weeks against Newcastle and Tuttle.
Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. That's your title sponsor tonight. We'll thank all of our sponsors multiple times throughout the broadcast tonight. Before we get going with anything else, though, let's start with our injury report brought to you by Hometown Healthcare this week, Drake.
Yeah, so just like we were saying, it is a little bit of a get-right week for some of the Blanchard Lions. Obviously, Reagan Palmer's kind of been up in the air most of the season after going down in that first game with a cracked collarbone. We have seen him in spot minutes the past couple of weeks, but this week is predominantly just keeping him out just so he can get more healed up on that shoulder. And then another person who actually played last Thursday but will not be in any action tonight, Brayson Carter. I think, last week we kind of noted that there was a limp a couple of times where maybe off of an awkward tackle or an awkward landing on some of the catches, but he will also not be playing tonight. So Reagan Palmer and Brayson Carter, your two players that will be in no action tonight for the Lions.
Let's meet our starters tonight, brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the starting lineup for the Blanchard Lions. And let's start tonight on the offensive side of the ball. Your big boys up front, Ross Johnson and Braden Heffern in the tackles. The guards, Blake Woods and Ryder Dobbs. Trey Spencer at center. The wide receivers tonight, a little bit of a new look at wide receiver with some players out with injury. You mentioned Reagan Palmer, Brayson Carter. So Matthew Tonsing, Cole Watkins get the start at wide receiver tonight, along with Terrence Johnson and Corrick Pierce. Carson Cooksey, your quarterback. Mikhail Howe, your running back. Drake, give us the starters for the defense, brought to you by Brightway Insurance.
Let's start with the big boys up front for defense. We got Ross Johnson and Blake Woods, your ends, and Cade Saunders coming in at nose guard. And then your linebacker group consisting of Tyler Hughes, Ben Hefner, Braden Stacy, and Gage Ellison rounding out your linebacker group. Then your cornerbacks, Matthew Tonsing and Rio Reynolds, stepping in that Palmer spot. And then finally, in the safety category, we have Corrick Pierce and Mikhail Howell replacing Brayson Carter.
Thanks to Brightway Insurance, your sponsor of the starting lineups tonight. Blanchard won the toss. They deferred, so they will kick off. The Lions are in their gold uniforms tonight. All white for Bridge Creek. The Bobcats, white uniforms, blue numbers.
Would like to note,
coached by Larry Spangler. Go ahead.
Past couple weeks have been a little cold outside wherever we've been.
Football weather, but go ahead.
Well, colder than what we've been
right.
seeing. This is a little bit of an anomaly. I'm going to take in.
And it's terrible.
I'm just going to assume
it's not what football's supposed to feel like in late October.
I'm just going to assume that this is
not what football's supposed to feel like in late October. And
right.
I need our meteorologist to get it under control. Maldonado's got it on the tee for Blanchard. He'll kick it away. As back deep for Bridge Creek, McKnight, Jaden Palmer back there as well. It's going to roll to Palmer, who's going to pick it up at the 20. Palmer to his left, out to the 25, out to about the 28-yard line before he's taken down. Good tackle on special teams that time. That was Brody Sherman, I believe, who came in and made the play. And 1st and 10 for Bridge Creek at the 28-yard line.
The biggest thing I'm going to be looking at this week for Blanchard is that obviously they got off to a really hot start last week against Classen on Thursday in that first quarter. Then they kind of teetered a little bit. I think the defense has a really good opportunity here to get the momentum driving. I don't think Bridge Creek has an athlete quite like Green we saw last week for Classen. So if they can get their work in and early, get the offense and maybe some good field position here, they can start off the first quarter like they did last week against Classen.
The quarterback is Bo James, and McKnight is the running back. This is a pitch underneath on a reverse to Walker Hill going around the right side, and oh God, we got pink flags tonight. I hate these. They're so hard to identify on a broadcast, but there is a flag down on the field.
I'm going to assume it's a hold.
For a good cause and everything, but man, it's so hard to keep track of what's going on.
I will say it may be a little bit easier tonight just because it's not Cancer Awareness Night. I feel like there was a lot of pink going on last time.
It's just, your eyes are just trained to see yellow when you watch football your whole life, and it's an assault on the senses.
And honestly,
we do have a hold on that first down play on Bridge Creek.
And honestly, with the maroon, it does not really mix well when you're looking for any of that. Any of those markers. So I definitely can see where you're coming from. Pretty easy call, though. Pretty easy hold there.
10-yard penalty moves it back to the 18, so it'll be 1st and 20. Bo James is the quarterback, as I mentioned, the junior. Dylan Shirley, Lathan McKnight, the running backs to either side of James on this 1st and 20 play. Shotgun snap. It's a handoff to Shirley, running left, looking to get the edge. Gets past the first man, past the second, out across the 20 to the 25, and finally brought down all the way up at the 27-yard line by Ben Hefner, but a good run on first down of 9 yards for Dylan Shirley.
Yeah, Corrick had the edge sealed there, just could not end up going to pay dirt. That's been a problem. That's some of the things that Coach talked about at the coaches show on Tuesday. The guys being in the right spots, but we've kind of touched on this throughout the week and the year. Just not being able to get home on some of those plays, even though you're in the right spot. It's just that extra 10% of making the actual play. Not the best start that you're looking for the Lions.
James again has Shirley to his right, McKnight to the left, and again hands to Shirley running left, looking to get the edge, and this time he's forced out of bounds after a gain of a couple. That was Corrick Pierce who ran him out after a gain of 3 to the 30. So after gaining 9 on first down and 3 on second down, that holding penalty setting Bridge Creek back, it's a 3rd down and 8.
Now, I will say this. If Bridge Creek continues to kind of try and defy that edge, try and make a home out of that, I will say that the Lions, for the most part this year, has been able to seal that edge very well just because of the athletes that they have on that defensive end. So I'm very intrigued to see if they stay with it.
3rd and 8. Man in motion, one back in the backfield for James, who looks to pass. Straight drop, throws over the middle, pass underthrown, incomplete. Hit as he threw, good pressure in the backfield. That was Cole Watkins who got back there on him. And the pass falls incomplete, and it's a 3 and out for Bridge Creek, and Blanchard will get the ball back on a punt.
Blanchard dialed up the pressure down the middle there. That is one thing last week I will say that was a really good concert for that Blanchard group. Even though their quarterback last week, Classen SAS's, was a really good athlete, they got in the backfield constantly. They were out there, forcing him to make decisions all the time, and I feel like we're going to see a lot of the same here, just with the pressure being dialed up and that defensive line just establishing themselves at that line of scrimmage.
Jacob Ojeda is the punter. He gets the snap. It is a different return man in Johnson this week, who comes up and makes a fair catch at the 41-yard line. It's one of those things you take for granted. You don't have Brayson Carter back there. Terrence Johnson, though, did a good job receiving that one at the 41, and that's where Blanchard will have it 1st and 10.
He did. One of the things that we talked about at the coaches show, too, I actually talked to Terrence this past week. I'll get into a little bit of what we talked about as the game progresses, but one of the things that Coach Craig had in his keys to the game was really completing those passes. There was a lot of times last week where there were passes that were on point by Cooksey, just the receivers need to do a better job of completing those plays and helping the quarterback out a little, and we'll see if that starts with this first possession here.
4 receivers, 3 left, 1 right for Cooksey on first down. Blitz comes, he steps up, throws man open. That's Watkins in midfield, and he slips down as he tries to make a cut at the Bridge Creek 43, but Cole Watkins makes a nice grab there for a gain of 16 and a First United first down.
It's a really good catch by Watkins. It's a really good start, especially for him coming off the position that Palmer leaves vacant for him. Really good start. Those short intermediate passing game, we've said it all year, is gonna open up so much for this passing game if they decide to go deep. You just got to stay disciplined in your reads.
1st and 10, Blanchard at the Bridge Creek 43-yard line. Cooksey hands up the middle to Howell, hit it about the 42, lowers his head. He gets all the way down to the 39-yard line. Good tackle that time for Bridge Creek by Jordan Jones. But still, it's a nice gain, 4 yards on first down.
Here's a little bit of a fun fact for you. I learned this at the coaches show last Tuesday.
Okay.
Coach Craig said, Mikhail Howell,
yeah,
first 100-plus yard rusher in Blanchard in about a decade.
Last week?
Last week.
There's a reason why he was our LB Realty Group player of the game last week.
Very true.
2nd down as Cooksey drops to throw. Throws it in the flat to Howell, left side. Howell makes a man miss at the 35, scoots down the sideline to about the 31-yard line. That's going to be a first down on an 8-yard gain, finding the safety valve, and a First United first down for Blanchard.
I'm very intrigued here about this drive, Todd, because, one of the other problems that we saw last week with this Blanchard offense was they were able to gain some ground. They were able to cover ground, but when they got, close to their own end zone, whether it be the class and defense that stepped up or just their own shortcomings, Blanchard's got to finish these drives.
First down and 10, Cooksey, straight drop, blitz comes, floats it in the flat for Howell, and this time McHale can't hold on to it. It's incomplete. Bridge Creek has shown early on, Drake, they are going to bring some pressure on the quarterback.
They are, and also, we're very familiar with this Blanchard team passing in the flats to let guys create in space. But the 2 passes that have been completed, that incompletion to Mikhail Howell and that other one where he got about 5 or 6 yards, there's been coverage in those flats. They're really contesting those flats, which is going to leave, with Cooksey, it's going to leave that middle part of the field open if you can make those reads. That's how he got the ball to Cole Watkins in that first pass.
Hand off to Howell right up the middle. Big hole, 30, cuts back 25-20. Up the middle of the field, now cuts outside, 15, 10, 5. And he's into the end zone. He fumbled the ball, but well after. Oh, they're going to say it went out of the back of the end zone. They're saying a touchback, that it went out the back of the end zone. Howell thought he scored.
Ooh.
But it is going to be a fumble through the end zone. And that means Bridge Creek is going to have the ball at the 20-yard line.
It's a bad break right there for Blanchard. We were kind of, you can see Coach Craig a little elated on the sidelines right there. That was one big thing that he talked about on Tuesday was they have to secure the little things, whether it be dropped passes, making sure you have control of the ball going into the end zone. That was the small things that Blanchard did not do last week against Classen in the second, third, and fourth quarter. Just taking the little things a little bit more seriously, knowing that your competition is not as good as the weeks previous, and just taking care of those little things.
I couldn't see it. It looked like he was already into the end zone, but Howell's not complaining, so he must have fumbled it. There's a handoff to Shirley on a counter on first down. Nice run off the left side, but a good tackle by Ben Hefner, who submarines him at the 23-yard line after a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
I will say this, though. One thing last week, the Blanchard defense did a tremendous job no matter what the offense was trying to give them. We always try and strive for complementary football at the end of the day. But time and time again, we've seen this year that, if the offense hasn't been there for the night, the defense has usually stepped up, and we'll see if they can do that on this second drive.
2nd down as James looks to throws left side, but a flag comes down for a false start before the snap, so Bridge Creek's going to back up 5 yards.
Just another opportunity for the defense. They got that hold penalty in that first drive for Bridge Creek. It's all about taking advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. So, with that being said, Bridge Creek has tried to, really lean into that run for their yardage. Haven't really done anything with the pass game yet. So, if you're Blanchard, just got to take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you.
McKnight and Ryan Place in the backfield for Bridge Creek as James drops a throw on 2nd and 12, and he throws it right side, incomplete, intended for Parker Van Sickle, but good coverage out there. Tonsing was out there. I believe Cole Watkins was out there as well, and it'll be 3rd down and 12.
Blanchard dialed up the pressure again, but not only was the pressure really good that time, the coverage was also good as well. Even if that ball would have been thrown a little bit better, I don't think it would have been completed. The coverage was just, he was tit for tat, step for step right there with him on his route.
3rd down, Shirley back in the game to the right of James. Again, split backs either side. Shotgun, handoff Shirley, hitting the backfield. Nowhere to go and wrestled down. All the way back inside the 10-yard line.
Is that Hughes? No.
No, that was Luke Meeker that got back there. Was it, or was it Watkins? It was Watkins that got back there. Cole Watkins, who has been really good defensively this year. And it's a big loss back to the 10, so it's a 4th and 20. Bridge Creek will punt it away as Johnson stands at the Bridge Creek 45. 7:49 to go first quarter.
Linebackers really establishing themselves early right there with the really good Cole Watkins tackle, but that dial-up pressure really putting some pressure on not only the running back but also the quarterback, as we've seen so far in this game.
Punts away, and it's a good one. Johnson's going to run up and take it on the run and returns it out of bounds. Nice job by Terrence Johnson, returning that one from the 40 up to about the 37, catching it on the run on the Bridge Creek sideline, and good field position for the Blanchard Lions at the Bobcats 37.
I was able to talk to Terrence Johnson Tuesday at the coaches show. He is a man of few words. I tried to get as much out of him as I could, but as you know, he's a transfer from Anadarko. I actually asked him about the atmosphere difference between the rivalry of Anadarko, which is Chickasha, and any of the Blanchard Tuttle or Blanchard Newcastle games. He went with the Anadarko-Chickasha matchup being the louder and more hectic. So that took me by surprise a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Cooksey looking, throwing, has Watkins and threw it a little behind him, and Cole couldn't hang on at about the 30. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That's one of the keys to the game from Coach Craig. Yes, that throw was a little behind him, but I don't think it was enough behind Watkins to where you still can't make that play. Got to take care of those little things, catchable balls, just the intangible things that you can control if you put the ball in the right place. But can't imagine that of the 3 keys that were given to us on the Coach's Show, I don't know if we can mark any of those thus far in this game.
2nd down and 10 at the 37. Cooksey, hands up the middle. That's Vaughn McIntyre who gets the handoff, and not much there. Just got a yard to the 36. Good tackle that time. I believe that was Jackson Van Hawken that got in there to make the tackle for Bridge Creek, and it'll be a 3rd down and 9.
Really tough position, too, when you drop a catch like that on 1st down. You're almost guaranteeing your opponent that you're going to be running in that second down. So Blanchard finding themselves in a hole early here.
Cooksey dropping a throw on 3rd and 9. Going deep for Tonsing, left side, and he overthrew him, incomplete, and a flag's going to come in. A flag comes in late. There was a little bit of hand fighting going on between the defender and the receiver. I don't know that one was catchable, Drake.
Yeah.
And there is a flag in the backfield as well, so we'll wait on that. Again, hard to see with the pink flag, so we'll probably miss some tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you, Todd. I don't know if that ball would have been catchable. I was very surprised that the flag came out in the first place on that play, but with this flag in the backfield, assuming that flag is going to be pass interference on the defense, and this might be a hold with this other flag, how does that factor into what it ultimately ends up happening spot of the ball?
Well, I think it'd just be offsetting if it's 2 flags on either team.
Okay. I truly don't know. I truly didn't know because they're different distances.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as they're.
Doesn't. Well, they seem to be
offset.
talking about it.
Comes our referee tonight. He's quite tall, the referee tonight.
A little bit.
Oh, we've got 2 penalties on Bridge Creek. We've got a hold on Bridge Creek. That's declined, and we've got a personal foul roughing the passer on Bridge Creek, and that one's going to be accepted. So that's a 15-yard penalty on a 3rd and long, and that's going to give Blanchard a First United 1st down. It's going to move the ball all the way down inside the 25-yard line to the 21 for the Lions. I want to thank some of our sponsors tonight: Blanchard Eye Care, Keeler Custom Homes, Hometown Healthcare, 10 Arrows Roofing, First United Bank and Mortgage, and Quick Ridge. And tonight's title sponsor, of course, Sutterfield Surveying. Thank you all for your sponsorship of Blanchard Lions football. 6:36 to go first quarter, scoreless game. Blanchard looked to have a touchdown, but Mikhail Howe fumbled as he was going in. The ball got raked away from him, and it went through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now after forcing their 2nd straight 3 and out, the Lions are on the move again at the Bridge Creek 21. Cooksey looking to throw. Steps up over the middle, high and incomplete. Tried to get it to Pierce on a slant route, and it's going to be 2nd down. I do want to apologize in advance. I have always struggled with Deer Creek and Bridge Creek because they are the same color scheme. They're both blue and white. And when I was a kid, they were both about the same size.
True.
They were both
Blanchard,
like 3'8". Yes.
Back in like 2002.
And I always get them confused. So if I do, I apologize to any Bridge Creek fans that are watching.
I want to say maybe circa 2002, they were both two-way schools, Blanchard and Deer Creek. So a little bit of a rise.
And that was even a couple years after me. So what's that tell you? 2nd down and 10 from the 21. Cooksey again, empty backfield, 5 receivers. Looking left. Has time. Now he's going to get sacked. Back outside the 30. Cooksey goes down as it's a good sack by Tristan LeBlanc who got through. Correction, that was Anthony Enriquez that got through. No, I'm lying. It was LeBlanc. Enriquez was just celebrating like he made the sack. And it's going to be a big loss, 10 yards. It'll be 3rd and 20.
This is exactly what Coach Craig was worried about for his team. I can say it because I was kind of surprised that he said it at the coach's show. They did not have a good Tuesday practice. That's usually the time where they're installing stuff for the teams. A little bit of a flat-footed Blanchard team this week, and you're kind of seeing it right here in this first quarter.
20, Cooksey looking to throw, screen set up. Pierce right side at the 30, 25, 20, 15, gets away, down inside the 10. He's got a first down. All the way down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 24 on 3rd and 20 and a First United first and goal for the Lions.
But with that being said, they went back to the well, which is those passes in the flats, making their athletes create in space, and that's exactly what Corrick did. It's a really good blocking there in the flats as well to create that space for him, and he ends up cashing in on that chance of nothing but green in front of him.
First and goal as Cooksey sends a man in motion. Handoff McIntyre hitting the backfield. He's going to lose 2 yards. Back to the 10-yard line. Good tackle that time by Hayden Phillips. It'll be second down and goal at the 10.
I believe that pressure came from the middle that time. I just don't know if those big boys up front were able to, catch sight of it before it actually happened. But got to give credit to that Bridge Creek linebackers. They blew up the middle.
And now they tried to blow up the middle a little too quickly that time as the blitz was timed by Jackson Van Hawken, but he timed it
incorrectly.
timed it a little too early. Jumped the gun a little, and he jumped offside. He's going to be replaced. It is going to move the ball from the 10 down to the 5. Penalties, man, that just erases a really good play on first down. It'll be second and goal now just inside the 5.
Very much so, and it's not the first time we've seen it on this drive against Bridge Creek. That's 3 total ones. Well, I guess 2 if you're counting ones that were actually applied for penalty yards. But like we said, just like the defense taking advantage of their opportunities that Bridge Creek offense gave them, the Blanchard offense has to take advantage of these penalties.
Cooksey hands to McIntyre, counter, going left, now back to his right, looking to get the edge. He's stumbling, and he can't quite get to the pylon. He's going to be taken down at the 1-yard line, and it'll be third down and goal from the 1.
I see big Hudson Perriman in there at the tight end slot. Have to feel like he's going to be a factor, whether it be just pinning someone up right behind him to be a lead blocker, or maybe just a little sneaky short range down the middle pass that we've seen a lot. Maybe something in the flats for him, but he's definitely going to be used as a weapon here on this goal line package.
Third and goal from the 1. Perryman to the left as Cooksey hands to McIntyre right up the middle. Big hole. It parts like the Red Sea, and Vaughn McIntyre is in for 6. It took about 3/4, I guess 2/3 of quarter number 1, but Blanchard finally does get on the scoreboard. The Lions score first, 3:54 to go on a 1-yard touchdown run by Vaughn McIntyre.
It took us a little bit to get here, but with that being said, Bridge Creek's going to give you a couple of opportunities with those penalties. The Blanchard Lions took full advantage of those. Really good job by those big boys up front creating space for the running back.
Matt Campbell on for the extra point. The hold is good. The kick has plenty of leg, but he pulled it left, and it's no good. 3:54 to go first quarter. Blanchard 6, Bridge Creek 0. You're listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Welcome back as Maldonado's got it on the tee for Blanchard. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying, Blanchard Lions football. Maldonado with a short kick, takes a big bounce. It's going to be taken at the 30. And giving ground and getting tackled at the 29 on the return that time for Bridge Creek. That was Bryce Benson.
I think that was Cole Watkins on the tackle right there.
Yeah,
Cole
Watkins is all over the place early on,
taking advantage of the opportunities that's given to him. Let's see if the defense can keep that wave of momentum going, holding Bridge Creek to. I don't know. We kind of talked about it last week, playing these mini games within a game. I think it took about a quarter and a half for Klassen to cross that 50. Ended up being on one of the kicks, unassumingly. Let's see how long it takes for Bridge Creek to cross that 50. A little bit of a game within a game here for the defense. It's been really good, really held up a lot in this first quarter.
First down, James, hands right up the middle. That's McKnight, who runs out across the 30 to the 32 for a little 3-yard dart. It'll be second down and 7. Entire middle of the Lions defense collapsing on him there.
You know, Coach Craig was talking a little bit about it. I think there are some good pieces on this Bridge Creek team. I just think they're a couple years away. I do know I think they're skewing a little bit young on some of those key positions. But with that being said, I think run dominance was something that the Lions were going to be expecting tonight, and they've done their job in holding that thus far.
James this time pitches it underneath on a reverse out across the 30 to the 35 and ripped down at the 35-yard line. That's Corrick Pearson making the tackle as Parker Van Sickle got the underneath pitch pass.
Sorry,
we got the 35 for a gain of 5. Yeah, that moth.
We got a moth in this.
That's quick hands. You see that?
In the press box. Oh, it collided into another moth that was outside.
We're doing a little moth swatting in the press box tonight.
This might be the last time we have windows up in the press box for this year.
Third down and 4. James hands to McKnight, running left, hitting the backfield, bounces left. Corrick Pierce chases him down. The ball's loose. It's picked up, and it's going to be returned by Hudson Perryman for a touchdown. Corrick Pierce knocked it away, and Hudson Perryman goes in from 29 yards out, and Blanchard adds to the lead. It's 12-0 Lions.
Man, if you guys are not listening or watching on the stream right now, if you're listening on 104.5 Classic Rock, the only way I can describe it to you was Corrick Pierce getting shot out of a cannon there in the going into the backfield, making a huge hit, stripping the ball from the Bridge Creek offensive player. Hudson Perryman coming in, sweeping duty and putting it back in the end zone for 6.
Matt Campbell on for the extra point, missed the last one wide left. Snap and hold are good. Campbell's kick this time is a line drive, but it's through. And Campbell's extra point makes it Blanchard 13, Bridge Creek 0. 2:23 to go. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. That was a Yarborough and Sons touchdown, and you are listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Welcome back as Maldonado kicks it away. It's picked up and returned out across the 25 to the 28-yard line by Jaden Palmer. Once again, that Yarborough and Sons touchdown. Hudson Perryman, 29-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Corrick Pierce knocked the ball away, and Perryman scooped it up for 6. Matt Campbell added the extra point. 13-0 Blanchard with the lead, 2:18 to go in the first quarter. Todd Lismy, Drake Vitito, the great Nate in the booth tonight. We got Reeves Mitchell back in studio. We want to send Reeves our
Condolences.
thoughts and prayers. I know he's a big Rangers fan, and Reeves, we love you, buddy. Appreciate all the hard work you do back in studio. We know tonight you're playing through the pain. 1st and 10 for Bridge Creek from their own 28-yard line. James has Shirley to his left in the backfield. James takes the snap, straight drop, throws left side, pass caught at the 30 and can't get out away from the tackle. Making the catch that time was Palmer. And that was Rio Reynolds out there that got to him first. So it's a gain of just a couple. We'll call it 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down 7.
Rio Reynolds taking the spot of Reagan Palmer there at the corner position over there on your far side of the screen. Really good coverage by him, wrapping up that offensive player before any real traction could start.
2nd down 7. James hands it to Shirley on the counter, running right. Shirley looking to get outside and does. Turns it up to the 35, out to the 40-yard line. Tripped up by Tonsing, but a nice run. There is a flag down, though, for an illegal shift on Blanchard. On Bridge Creek. And it is 2nd down and 8, and it's going to be 2nd and 13 as the ball is going to move back to the 25. So 2nd down 13 from the 25. A minute and a half to go in this first quarter. 13-0 Blanchard with the lead. James has Shirley in the backfield. James takes the snap, looks left, throws left, pass through the hands of Palmer and incomplete. And it'll be a 3rd down and 13. Clock stops with 1:09 to go first quarter. Ball needs to get out to the 38-yard line for the first down. 1:09 to go again, first quarter. 3rd and 13 for Bridge Creek. James takes the shotgun snap, airs one out left side, and it's overthrown over everyone's head and incomplete. Tried to get Van Sickle on the go route. It'll be 4th down. Bridge Creek's going to punt it away back to Blanchard. As Terrence Johnson is standing at his own 45-yard line. Nice 3 and out. That penalty kept the chains from moving, and Blanchard, I don't believe, has allowed a first down. Have they, Drake, in this game?
I don't believe so. And Bridge Creek hasn't made it past the 50.
Yeah.
So mini game still in play here. I know it's still early in the first, but all signs point to green.
Ojeda will punt it away. It's a high end-over-end kick. Johnson's going to let this one bounce. It hits and takes a big Blanchard bounce back up the field, and it's finally down at the 46-yard line in Bridge Creek territory. That's a punt of only about 21 yards, and Blanchard will have good field position again at the Bridge Creek 46.
Let's see if this Blanchard offense can ride that wave of momentum. That's something we really didn't see from them in the 2nd through 4th quarter of last week. All of it kind of piled on in that first, so I'd really like to see some growth right here. Put a couple drives together. Your defense has really been doing a lot of work for you. Let's reward them with another score.
1st and 10 as Cooksey has Howell in the backfield. Hard count. Bridge Creek doesn't jump. Now Cooksey moves Howell from left to right. 2 receivers each side. Carson takes a snap, hands to Mikhail Howell, running left, gets a block, 45-40, down inside the 40 to about the 37. 9-yard run on first down will make it 2nd and 1. I want to thank some more of our sponsors tonight, the LB Realty Group, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, Brightway Insurance, Casa de Wolf Designs, Coops Performance Gym, and Yarborough & Sons Heating and Air. And, of course, we want to thank tonight's title sponsor, Sutterfield Surveying. 2nd down 1 at the 37-yard line. Handoff Howe right up the middle, has the first down. He's driven back after a run of about 4 from the 37 down to the 33. That'll be a First United first down. And that should take us to the end of quarter number 1. See if Blanchard wants to run another play. They do not, and that will end quarter number 1. 1 quarter in the books, 13-0. Blanchard leads Bridge Creek. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. You're listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Welcome back as we get quarter number 2 underway here at the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. 13-0 Blanchard with the lead. And the Lions have it 1st and 10 at the Bridge Creek 33-yard line. It's a fake handoff to Howell, a throw left side intended for Watkins, and good coverage out there. It's incomplete. Wesley Graham was with them step for step, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, really good coverage there from Bridge Creek. A little bit of a force there from Cooksey, but I wonder if that was a design. They thought it was going to be there, and it just ended up not being there. Really good field position, though. It is 2nd and 10, and you still got a lot of work to do. You have found success, especially in that first scoring drive with the run. I'm intrigued to see if they go back to it.
2nd down as there's a throw in the flat left side for Tonsing. Good catch as the ball was high in the air, but an even better open field tackle as Tonsing only gets down to the 30-yard line. That was Jordan Jones out there who made the play. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down and 7.
I will say this.
Gain of 2, we'll call it 3rd and 8.
This Bridge Creek defense has done really well in the flats.
We got a timeout on the field. I don't know what the situation is here.
He has another ball. Is there a misplace? Went to the wrong sideline?
Perhaps. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Drake.
That is the one thing you can say that this Bridge Creek defense has done well tonight is cover those flats pretty well. Besides that one play that Blanchard got from Corrick Pierce, got him to the goal line. But for the most part, Bridge Creek's done a really good job holding those positions up.
3rd down and 8 at the 31. Man in motion. As there's a blitz coming, Cooksey throws it in the flat to Tonsing. He makes the grab, but he loses 5 yards. 6 yards maybe. Back to the 36-yard line. It's 4th down. As that was a loss of 3. It's 4th and 13 as, again, Bridge Creek just brings the house, Drake, every play.
They're putting a lot of faith in their secondary right now. I mean, can you blame them? I mean, they've done really well in their coverage.
I think their thought is also you got Carter and Palmer out.
True.
You know?
But with that being said, Bridge Creek has just really done a good job of getting back there quickly. The O-line has not been able to pick it up. Cooksey's been forced out of the pocket quicker than he's needed to be, and it kind of results in the play not being able to develop, and you get a play like you just saw, just a blow-up in the backfield is what it was.
4th down. Play clock expiring as Cooksey takes the snap. 4-man rush, throws it deep left side for Thompson, gets it at the 10 and out of bounds inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. They're going to mark him out at the 5-yard line. That's 31 yards on a 3rd down and 16. And it's 1st and goal for Blanchard at the 5.
It was a really good job there by Matt Tonsing of getting separation from his defender. Like we just said, Birch Creek's done a pretty good job of being in coverage well. But with that being said, Carson Cooksey also puts pretty much in the only spot that Matt can get it and the defender can't. And that was just a really good two-way game right there from Cooksey and Tonsing.
It's a First United 1st and goal as here's a fake handoff by Cooksey, and Carson runs it right up the middle and in. Nobody accounted for the quarterback, and Carson Cooksey's 5-yard touchdown run adds to the Blanchard lead. It's 19-0 Lions.
Oh, is that fireworks?
Yeah,
have we gotten fireworks
We've had them every
before?
touchdown. I don't know if we've had them before, but we've had them every touchdown tonight.
We got them now, and that's what matters, being in the moment. But that was a really good run. We've been fooled a couple of times on those keepers by Cooksey, and he kept it, and it fooled the entire Bridge Creek defense en route to 6.
Campbell on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 10:18 to go in the first half, it's Blanchard 20, Bridge Creek 0. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. You're listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy.
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. 10:18 to go in the first half, 20-0 our score, as Maldonado's about ready to kick it away. Still haven't had Bridge Creek get past the 50-yard line in this game as the Lions look to improve to 7-1 on the year. Maldonado this time puts one in the air that's going to be returned by Shirley from the 17 out across the 20. Hit at the 22, gets away across the 25, and he's finally buried at the 26-yard line. Nice return. And again, I believe that was Brody Sherman coming in on the tackle. He's made a couple of special teams tackles tonight, and it's 1st and 10 for Bridge Creek.
I was about to say, I didn't have on my bingo
26.
card potentially the first time both of these teams the past 2 weeks crossing the 50 from special teams. I thought we might have had to reset our calendars there, but no. The Blanchard Lions did a good job rallying on the ball right there. Another opportunity. Go get a 3 and out.
First down and 10 as McKnight's back in at running back. To the right of James. And it's a handoff to McKnight running to his left, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards as a helmet comes flying off. Luke Meeker wrestles him to the turf after a loss of 1 back to the 25, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
You got to give a big shout out thus far in this game to those 3 big guys up front for Blanchard, really dominating that line of scrimmage. I think they knew coming into this week that Bridge Creek was going to be a very run dominant team this week, and they have not touted. They have touted, wrong word. They have not faltered.
There you go.
They have stepped up to the challenge against that huge Bridge Creek front.
2nd and 11 from the 25. James hands to McKnight, running right, and he's hitting the backfield, gets away from Pierce, but doesn't get away from the second man, as that was Blake Woods who got to him. Another loss of 1 on the play. Back to the 24-yard line. Woods ran past him. Then Pierce nearly had him, and then Pierce missed him, and Woods came back from behind and got him again.
I'm going to blame myself a little bit just because I'm always looking in the backfield. I actually don't really get, unless the ball gets thrown deep, I really don't get to see a whole lot of what the secondary is doing in the moment. But, man, it just seems like Corrick comes out of nowhere from that backfield position and makes those plays. His targeting speed is tremendous.
3rd and 12 from the 24. James looking to throw, throws right side and just throws it away into the bench. And it's 4th down, and Bridge Creek will punt it away again with 8:34 to go in this first half.
It's good to see the defense stepping up to the challenge thus far this game. I don't think Bridge Creek is anything they couldn't have handled in the first place. But with that being said, Coach Craig was, very worried come Tuesday about, just the effort that was the Blanchard Lions in practice. And it is hard. I see where it comes from just because, Bridge Creek and Class are not at the top of this district, and it's very hard to overlook opponents sometimes, especially what you have next week in Bethany. But with that being said, the defense has stepped up tonight in a big way.
Here's a punt that Johnson's going to get on the bounce all the way back at the 30. Cuts back, gives up ground to the 25, and he's going to be tackled all the way back at the 24-yard line. Really good punt, even better coverage.
I also see
Tim Blanchard at the 24.
We didn't mention this pregame for the hometown healthcare, but that's Caleb Greenwood down there in a boot. So we will add him. What would you call that? In post. We'd add it in post that Caleb Greenwood is also in a boot, and I can confidently say that would be an injury, not just because we're keeping him out for any other reason.
So the 23-yard line is where Blanchard's going to start here.
Listen to this. Hyperextended toes.
Okay.
That's interesting. Like plural.
McKnight in the backfield with Cooksey at quarterback. Cooksey dropping to throw. Steps up, pressured. And he throws it to a lineman. That's Ross Johnson, who gets it on the lateral. And Ross Johnson runs all the way out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. It's totally legal because it was a backwards pass to Ross Johnson. And it's 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 1. You don't see Ross Johnson get to carry the ball very often. Might ought to put him in the backfield after that.
It's a first for everything. We've seen Hudson Perriman back there. I mean, who's to say Ross?
There is a flag down. We'll see what they say. There shouldn't be a flag. It was a backwards lateral. You're allowed to lateral it to anybody. I mean, there is a rule, I believe, in high school football that you can't have guys with lineman numbers line up as running backs unless they check in.
Is that what's being disputed here?
We'll see. Our referee's on the far side talking to the Bridge Creek coaching staff. See, I did it. I knew I was going to do it.
Well, I said Newcastle. I mean, I guess they're also blue and white. How do we feel about the Bridge Creek get-up today? How do you feel about the blue stripe down the middle of the helmet?
It's okay.
That's a look. I guess Blanchard does have the same thing.
I don't know if our referee is deciding what he's going to do or if he's reading the Magna Carta to the Bridge Creek coaching staff, but this is taking quite a moment.
What year was that sign? 1053?
Blanchard Eye Care, Keeler Custom Homes, Hometown Healthcare, 10 Arrows Roofing, First United Bank, Quick Wrench, the LB Realty Group, and Craig and Straight Orthodontics, just some of the many great sponsors we have of Blanchard Lions football tonight. Now our referee, I think we've got the white smoke out like when a new pope is selected.
12:15. I was close. I was about 200 years off. Don't ask me what that was, though. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
And now our referee is giving us a signal. There is no flag. And now he's going to come over and explain to Coach Craig what he was explaining to the Bridge Creek coaching staff. Which is basically, you can't throw a forward pass to an ineligible receiver, which Ross Johnson would have been.
True.
And Cooksey was freaking out, and he thought he was dropping it off to a receiver, but he threw it backwards, so it's totally legal because it's a lateral, just like the Fumblerooski play that everyone runs at the end of the game.
I guess I'll have to ask him.
What are we doing? We're adding 15 yards on? After the play, there's an unsportsmanlike on Bridge Creek, so that'll move the ball all the way out to the 47.
Seems like I'll have to put that in the notes for Tuesday and ask him if that was a drawn-up play or is that just kind of off the cuff on the fly.
And that penalty gives Blanchard a First United first down at the 47-yard line. 7:53 to go first half. 20-0, Blanchard with the lead.
I liked how Hudson Perriman was waiting for the ref to give his signal before he stepped in front of him. It's a gentleman and a scholar.
First down 10 for Blanchard. Cooksey. Hands off to McIntyre. He is hit hard in the backfield and driven backwards for a loss of 2. Blanchard not having much luck running the ball up the middle as Bridge Creek is just sending a blitz on every single play. It'll be 2nd and 12.
I was about to say, I mean, outside of that after that first little drive where you got a couple big plays from Mikel Howell, Bridge Creek's really stepped up and taken issue with that. The rest of this game, they've done a really good job of just sending pressure up the middle and the offense just not being able to respond to it.
2nd and 12 from the 45 for Blanchard. Man in motion is Perryman. He goes behind the line of scrimmage, behind the backfield. Handoff McIntyre, gets away from defenders in the backfield, and he runs for about 3 yards from the 45 up to the 48. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Bridge Creek has come to play on the defensive side of the ball, especially up front, Drake.
They have, and, it's something that was echoed by Coach Craig on Tuesday. One of the keys to the game for him was not beating yourself. When you get put into positions, whether it be from your defense or, your offense just being able to move the ball extremely well up and down the field, take those advantages. I mean, this Bridge Creek team should not be standing in the way of a utter and complete blowout.
3rd and 8, there's a handoff to McIntyre, and he's dropped at the 50 after a gain of just 2. Gain of 1, actually, from the 49 to the 50. It'll be 4th down and 7.
And one of the things that Craig really harped on was don't overlook opponents. It doesn't matter if it's the second or first team in the district or the last team in the district, because they can come to play on any given night, and that's what you're seeing here from this Bridge Creek defense.
And now we've got a timeout called by Blanchard. We'll take it with them. 5:45 to go in the first half. 20-0 Blanchard leads. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today. Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to
Welcome back into the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. Todd Lisenby, Drake Vitito, Reeves Mitchell back in studio on Classic Rock 104.5. We got the great Nate in the booth with us tonight. 4th down and 7 for Blanchard. We'll see if the Lions punt it away here. As we've seen all year when they do punt it, they do it out of the shotgun formation. This is the exact look they give when they punt it away.
I feel like he's a little close.
Cooksey's going to throw it. Cooksey drops, throws, pass. Caught by Pierce at the 35-30, 25-20, and he's ankle tackled inside the 20-yard line at the 17. They'll put him all the way down at the 15-yard line. That's a 35-yard gain on a 4th down and a First United first down for the Lions.
Little interesting wrinkle there on offense. I think Tyler Hughes was going a little bit of a green go, and it kind of edged, if you will, the Bridge Creek corners to kind of go with him, and that cleared up Pierce in the middle. Really good play there from really good play calling.
Cooksey out of the gun, hands to Perryman on the reverse. Hudson's at the 15, and he's going to get stacked up there for no gain on the play. In fact, he's going to lose a yard. Back to the 16. It'll be 2nd and 11. You also take away, when Brayson Carter's injured, you take away the guy that runs those outside runs a lot of times.
Yeah. Carter just does so much, and not just in his pass, not just in the catches that the passes that he catches, able to just do so much after the catch, but also on those jet sweeps that you see. He's just able to beat the edge. He's able to get outside so quickly, and you're kind of seeing what is left of that when Carter's not the one taking those pitches. Bridge Creek's able to get that edge a lot quicker.
1st and 10 or 2nd down and 11, I should say, from the 16. Cooksey off a play fake, throws in the flat, left side, and it's incomplete. Too tall for Hudson Perryman, which we don't say very often, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and you honestly can't even blame Cooksey for that one. It was a classic example of what we've seen a couple of times from Bridge Creek. They dialed up pressure this time, it looked like, from the outside, and that immediately sent Cooksey scrambling outside, and he had to get rid of that ball quicker than he would have liked, and that's what caused the overthrow.
3rd down and 11 from the 16. Cooksey sends Hughes in motion, and there's a handoff to Hughes, who carries down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Gain of about 4, and that'll set up another 4th down and 7, this time from the 12-yard line. 4:08 to play and ticking first half.
Very curious to see if we get Tyler Hughes in the mix in the running game a little bit. He's such a big, powerful runner. Even if it's just for the sake of giving Bridge Creek a couple of different looks. We've already seen McIntyre and McHale Howe, obviously, but Tyler Hughes has come in a little bit sometimes during the season and really given a big boost to the run game.
4th down and 7, balls at the 15, at the 12, need to get it to the 5 as Cooksey throws right side pass, caught Corey Pierce into the end zone on the slant route for the touchdown. 2 4th down conversions on the drive, and the last one is good for a Yarborough and Sons touchdown. It's 26-0 Blanchard.
That was about as simple as a play as just beating the guy that's in front of you. It was one-on-one coverage right there with Corick, and he had to make a catch with a guy right behind him. Not an easy catch whatsoever to make, especially the Cooksey fireball that was thrown in the backfield, but really good job there by getting the catch and finishing off with a couple more yards under pressure.
Campbell's extra point is on the way. It looks like it's got plenty of leg. It did, but he pulled it left, no good. And with 3:37 to go first half, it's Blanchard 26, Bridge Creek 0. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
And we're back at the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. 3:37 to go first half, 26-0. Blanchard with the lead. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. Some other great sponsors of Blanchard Lions football this year include Brightway Insurance, Casa de Wolf Designs, Coop's Performance Gym, Yarborough and Sons Heating and Air, Oasis Gas and Go. Thanks to all of them.
quite literally couldn't do without any of them.
That's right. So Maldonado will kick it away, and this one's a short kick that's picked up at the 35, returned out to the 38-yard line. Tyler Hughes on the tackle. It's going to get out to the 39 as they finally blow it dead on the kick return by Keaton Morrow.
We see a flag. I think the whistle could have been blown a little bit earlier there.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
should
know.
have been blown a little bit earlier.
I don't know what call you're going to be getting in a quite literally a pile up of people. I don't know what you're going to be able to see in that pile.
I will say Blanchard's gotten a few calls go their way tonight, so if this one doesn't go their way, it's not the end of the world.
No, not at all.
You're up 26-0, right?
They've done well thus far tonight. The ref crew has. Just really curious to see what you saw in
a personal foul on Bridge Creek.
I mean, sure. Like I don't even understand that. I really don't. I mean, the pileup happened for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then you just see the flag coming in pretty much immediately after the play was blown dead.
So the ball goes all the way back to the 24 now. I thought maybe Bridge Creek was going to get across midfield on a penalty.
Yeah, on special teams. Just an odd call. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
So 1st and 10 from the 24. 3:28 to go first half.
Did they specify the personal foul?
What do you mean? Like what he did?
Yeah.
Just a late hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm assuming it was. I think it was just a pile that was going.
It was the 16th guy in the pile.
Somebody, yeah. Here's a handoff to McKnight on first down, running right, and not a lot there. He's tackled after a gain of about a yard. As in on the tackle for Blanchard that time.
Ah, okay.
What was that? That was Braden Stacy in on the tackle that time.
The fireworks are done by one Joey Bewley, whose family does a lot of work behind the scenes for Blanchard football. Big shout out to Joey for bringing in the fireworks
Pyrotechnics.
Tonight. Yeah, caught me by surprise.
2nd and 9. Shirley hands it off left side. Shirley gets hit at the 30 or the 26, gets about a yard, and it's Cork Pierce again with an open field tackle. They'll spot him for no gain at the 25. It'll be 3rd down and 9. You say it caught you by surprise, but we had fireworks on the first 2 touchdowns and you didn't even notice.
Did we?
Yes.
I didn't get surprised on the first drive?
Both of the first 2 touchdowns we had fireworks.
Huh.
You didn't say anything.
Is this the first game, though, that we've had them?
I don't know the answer to that.
No.
It's been happening all
I'm just
year
losing
and you
my
haven't
mind,
noticed.
Apparently.
3rd down and 9 from the 25 for Bridge Creek here.
I will say the first time that the fire truck's been out there.
I think that is correct.
You can't tell me no on that. They've been spinning the sirens.
Play clock at 1 as James takes the snap, fakes a handoff and rolls right. Looking, throwing, right side, has a man open. The pass is dropped. Bryce Benson was open near midfield, and he couldn't hold on at the 47, and it'll be 4th down, and Bridge Creek will punt it away.
Honestly, not a bad play there from Bridge Creek. It was just a ball that ended up not being caught. The receiver there ended up getting behind the coverage for Blanchard and had a really wide open lane. Quarterback just not able to deliver it to him. A big break for the Blanchard Lions.
Ojeda on to punt. I think this is his 5th punt of this game. By the way, I didn't mention it after last week with it being so windy. There is no wind at all tonight.
No.
It is dead calm tonight.
And I'm wearing shorts and a T-shirt like I did last week, and it feels a whole lot better.
That's just poor preparation. Ojeda's kick is a low kick that Johnson runs to the sideline and picks it up on the run at the 30, looking to turn upfield. Gives up some ground, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, and gets to the 32 before he finally goes down. Probably should have just let that one go out of bounds.
Oh, we've been in a burn ban. That's why there's been no fireworks.
Okay. 1st and 10 from the 32 for Blanchard. Minute 35 to go, so the Lions got a chance to practice their 2-minute drill here, Drake, with a lot of players who, especially at the wide receiver position, that aren't out there all the time on 2-minute drills. It's nice to get them some reps here.
True. And we've said multiple times this year, and we've seen it multiple times this year and last year, the 2 years we've been doing this, Blanchard is no stranger to grabbing and taking a hold of a big part of the field and making up for a lot of yards in a short amount of time. So we'll see if they can do that here.
Blitz coming. Cooksey right side. Pass complete to Pierce. Pierce up the field at the 35-40 and out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him. He's going to be right at the 40, so it's a gain of 8. Clock stops with 1:29 to go, 2nd and 2.
I bet we see a lot. I bet we see a little bit, a lot of that, a lot. Goodness gracious. I bet we see a lot of those short intermediate passing game. If they can get past the 50 doing that, and then we see a big pass here. Oh.
And now we got a false start. I think that one might be on the center because the entire O-line moved before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, even a couple of the receivers moved.
That's one where every once in a while in the NFL you'll hear the ref say, false start, everybody but the center. Which makes you feel about knee-high to a grasshopper if you're a center. Makes you feel pretty small when you get called out like that.
That was good. That was a good one. I never heard that one before.
2nd down and 7 after the penalty now. At the 35-yard line, the clock runs with 1:25 left. Shouldn't be running. And the referee's going to stop the clock.
Man, he is tall. I think he's a little bit taller than Craig. You don't really notice until you can see him by somebody. 1:28.
1:27.
1:27.
There we go. Yeah, I think he wanted them to run the play clock, and they ran the game clock as well, so. Which is correct, because the clock had stopped on the play. Now Cooksey takes the snap. Pumps right, throws, caught by Hughes on the sideline at the 45-40 into Bridge Creek territory, down inside the 35. At the 32, they ran the screen and go that time. And Bridge Creek bit on it, and Tyler Hughes makes a good grab for a first down. That's a gain of 33 yards.
What a pretty ball by Cooksey there. That was pretty much at the apex of where Tyler could get in, the defender could not.
First United first down. Corrick Pierce right side. Screenplay this time. Down the sideline, gets through defenders. He's still running, but he stepped out of bounds. Back at the 27-yard line after a gain of just 5.
It's a really good job there by Hughes blocking for Corrick, but sadly he stepped out. It's a really good play. 2-minute drill so far going pretty well for the Lions.
The plan for Bridge Creek is pretty obvious. Like, just try to make Blanchard throw the ball against you, knowing that they've got 2 receivers out.
Right.
And Blanchard's done, not a great job, but definitely a good enough job in the first half. And
Better
the defense
here.
been really good.
Yeah.
2nd down and 5 from the 27. Cooksey with a blitz coming. Fakes a handoff, throws right side, caught by Watkins inside the 20 and down to about the 15. They'll mark him at the 16. That's a gain of 11. 1:02 to go as the clock will start when the chains get set.
We're going tempo.
1:01 to go, under a minute now. Fake handoff, throw right side, pass complete again on a slant route, this time to Corrick Pierce. He gained 7 yards from the 16 down to the 9.
Give credit to Blanchard. We've seen him kind of try and get to that run. I know right now time and situation may not be kind of hampering for that run right now, but the passing game's very up and down, and they've really just been gaining a lot of ground here in a short amount of time.
2nd down and 3 from the 9. Cooksey looking left, throwing, corner end zone. That pass is incomplete, and there was pushing and shoving by receiver Terrence Johnson and the defensive back on the play. That was Van Sickle out there in coverage, and I think they're going to get him for a pass interference.
I will say the last flag thrown for pass interference might have been a little disputed, but I think I can confidently say that was very much clearly pass interference. Bridge Creek's going to give you some opportunities like that. You're going to take advantage of them with 24 seconds left. Blanchard's got to be able to do that, ride a wave of momentum going into halftime.
And that's a half the distance penalty, and it'll put the ball at the 5-yard line, and it's 1st and goal, another First United first down by penalty for Blanchard, this time at the 5. 24 seconds to go. The clock is stopped on the incomplete pass. And it'll start on the snap. Cooksey Fakes a handoff, rolls right, throws. Perryman catches it, waltzes into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game, and Blanchard has Larry Bird on the board with an extra point maybe. Just to Magic Johnson right now, though, 32-0. The Lions have the lead. 19 seconds to go first half.
Really good pass there from Cooksey. We've seen that play a lot of times. Hudson lines up, kind of disguises himself as a blocker, and he just goes right there in the flat, slips right by the defender for an easy tutty.
I think I said that's his second touchdown receiving. That's his first receiving touchdown, Perryman. He had the other one on the fumble return.
Mm-hmm.
And now Campbell on for the extra point. This kick looks good, and it is. 19 seconds to go. Larry Bird is on the board. 33-0. Blanchard with the lead. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Welcome back as Maldonado will kick it away for what feels like about the 10th time in this first half. Just a reminder, Blanchard will get the ball to start the second half as well, as it's a low kick, and it gets through the return man, goes all the way back to Shirley, who takes it across the 15 and across the 20 out to about the 22 before he's taken down. And that was Braxton Rinkin who made the tackle. 14 seconds to go first half. 33-0 Blanchard. And I would imagine Bridge Creek will just hand it off here and try to lick their wounds and get back into halftime.
Oh, we got a big check down there on the sideline. I wonder if someone's going to be kicking a field goal. Free Chick-fil-A for a year? No, sorry. Wrong team.
They do that at OU?
Yeah. The pump pass kick or whatever.
They do, I think they do one at UCO. A student gets an iPad if they make it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of baller.
Yeah. First and 10 as James takes the snap, hands it off right up the middle. McKnight has a nice hole, and Pierce comes in and makes a tackle again at the 29-yard line after a gain of about 7, and that should be the last play of the first half, and it is. One half in the books, and it's been all Lions in this one. Halftime in Blanchard. Blanchard 33, Bridge Creek 0. Drake, give us your thoughts on the first half of play.
Yeah, I just want to echo a little bit of what Coach Craig really was trying to hamper coming into this game for his Lions squad. A little bit of a slow start, and that was something that he was really trying to get the guys to really realize about tonight is, yes, it is maybe an inferior opponent, an opponent that you might overlook, especially considering next week going to Bethany. But with that being said, you got to be able, you still got to show up, you still got to play the game, and there was a little bit of a slow start there in the beginning. But I think ever since that second quarter started, we kind of started seeing the cogs shifting a little bit, the offense starting to find their rhythm a little bit. The defense did help them out a large portion, though, in that first quarter. But by the end of that second quarter, Todd, I think we're all steam ahead when it comes to complementary football. Offense finding their footing. Defense hasn't allowed Bridge Creek past the 50 yet. I think it's a job well done so far in this first half.
All right, we have not yet started our time for halftime because I still think high school referees get paid by the hour. Here's the problem. We can't start the time until Blanchard gets to the locker room, and they had a big huddle on the field.
I wonder if it was because the band was coming out, maybe? I mean, I will say the one entrance on the far side, on the far end zone over here, it's a little gate. I mean, it's not really It's not really a large area where people can just come in and out of. I know.
I mean, the only sport in the world that has 45-minute halftimes is high school football. That's all I'm saying.
Might be a slight over-exaggeration.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But you know what? The band gets to play, and we get to come back and give you some scores.
That's right.
We'll give you the scores from all around the state. Heck, by the time halftime's over, we might give you the scores from surrounding states as well. That's all coming up next. Our halftime score, 33-0. Blanchard leads Bridge Creek. I'm Todd Lisenby, Drake Vitito, the great Nate in the booth with us tonight as well. Reeves Mitchell back in studio. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
Duncan. Juniors, Addie Stevens, Zoe Delheimer, Nicole Wilk, and Bryn Madron. Sophomores, Jenna Clark, Kylie Smith, Addison Gorman, and Sailor Brooks. And freshmen, Lily Baldwin, Alexis Bishop, Riley Billyhue, and Cameron Littlejohn. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Blanchard High School Marching Band. The band is led by directors Jim Kaufman and Kara Van Vickle. This year, the band is led on the field by junior drum major Miss Sadie Crawford. And also, please welcome to the field for the first time as a member of the Blanchard Lions Marching Band, your 8th graders and your future of the Marching Band of Blanchard. As they play together for the first time, your Blanchard fight song. For the Blanchard High School Marching Band and your future band members.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Support your school's
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. We are at halftime, 33-0 our score. Blanchard with the lead over Bridge Creek. Let's look at some of the scores from around the state of Oklahoma in high school football tonight. And there were a lot of games last night as well as some schools with fall break this week. Let's start in Class 4A. Let's start in district. No big surprise. Tuttle leads Tecumseh 28-0 at halftime. Again, our score here, 33-0. Blanchard leading Bridge Creek here. Newcastle's up 57-6 on Classen at the half.
Goodness.
In that game. So Newcastle's up big. And then we had one final last night. It was Bethany 38, Hera 14. So no big surprises this week in district, as again the top four teams, none of them really playing each other. Now we do get next week, we get Bethany coming here to Blanchard. And that should be the last big test for Blanchard this year on the schedule. And then next week we get Newcastle at Tuttle as well. So next week's a big week in district to suss out where everyone's going to finish.
I mean, but with that being said, Blanchard wins next week. The only thing that's left to stand is who's going to be second and third place in the district. So very big week next week. I know we've talked about it ad nauseum almost at this point. But got to take care of business tonight first, which Blanchard clear on their way to doing. And then, next week is kind of the big end. They were in a similar spot last year, coming off of wins against Tuttle and Newcastle, and they ended up dropping that one at Bethany. So I'm very intrigued to see what this Bethany team looks like coming up next week, and I'm very intrigued to see, history repeats itself or Blanchard goes to the occasion itself and decides to rewrite it.
By the way, next week's a big week also, because next week a huge game down in the southeast part of the state. Ada's at Poto next week, and a very big game to determine who's going to finish first place in that district as well. And remember, the second-place team in that district is likely who Blanchard would play in the second round of the playoffs this year.
And it's a weird spot because we were talking about it last week. Besides those two teams, Poto, Ada, I don't think it's really – is that also the district with McLean?
Correct.
Oh,
No. That's Wagner.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Outside of those two,
Poto Ada has Broken Bow. Those
that's right. And we know Broken Bow is a little bit down compared to last year. So I'm very intrigued to see what Ada looks like because Poto, you know what Poto is going to bring. They're usually really great each and every year. I'm really intrigued to see what Ada looks like in that matchup.
Just a reminder, your halftime scoreboard brought to you by First United Bank and Mortgage. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. As we look around some of the other scores in Class 4A tonight, I mentioned there were some games last night as well. Let's look at those finals first. Woodward defeated Cashin by a score of 52-13 in a non-district game. Poto beat Salisaw 28-13. Bethany 38-14 over Hera. Wagner beat McLean 36-12. Miami beat Oologah 36-27. Catoosa 49-14 over Skiatook. Ada 48-14 over Fort Gibson. Games tonight, Elk City leads Weatherford 14-7 at halftime. Cushing up big on Cleveland 49-6 second quarter. Medill 28-7 on Stillwell at halftime. By the way, we talked about this off air, but Medill is going to be in Blanchard's district again.
Yep. So they were in Blanchard's district before they redistricted is it every 3 years?
Every 2 years.
So last year was the first year. Medill was in before.
Right.
Obviously we weren't doing it, but not unfamiliar ground for Blanchard.
And Newcastle will not be in Blanchard's district next year as well. Some other scores at halftime. Tonight, Hilldale and Broken Bow are tied at 7. Clinton leads Chickasha 13-0. That game in the third quarter, and Cash leads John Marshall by a score of 30-0.
Clinton, another one of those teams where you just really don't know until they play another equally as good or better than team. Chickasha, I don't really think has been too much of a large force this year.
No, they're 3-3.
So maybe. I know it's a lot. I know I really don't like comparing scores, but with high school football, I think it kind of lends itself a little bit just because there's not as much. I don't think diversity is the right word. Just like there's not as much potential shakeup as like a college.
You just don't know how much people are laying back.
Right.
In district play especially, because there are some districts where you can really rest guys. I mean.
Yeah.
No offense, but we're seeing some guys rested tonight for Blanchard, right? I mean, that's why that's part of the deal. I do want to, before we go any further, I know we mentioned this last week, just again a tip of the cap to the Blanchard softball team who made it to the semifinals in softball this year before falling last Friday. So well done by them. Yep, well done by them. They lost to the Dragons in the semifinals. But, yeah, really, really good season for the Blanchard softball team to make it that far. And I know it had to be a little bit of a nice feeling to eliminate Tuttle for them as well in the first round.
Yeah, obviously we talked about it last week, but that was a position that Blanchard hadn't been in a very, very long time, pretty much a decade to the point. But it's just really cool seeing this Blake Stringer-led group getting back there to state, and now that this new group has a taste of it. Talking about the freshmen. Sophomores and juniors in this year's squad. They got a little taste of it. Now I hope they have that hunger to get back at that stage. Would also like to note it is not state this week for cross country, but it is regionals. I believe regionals will be at Mustang this week. So
yeah,
good
but
luck.
Only weirdos run cross country though. I'm just saying that because our buddy the great Nate up here runs cross country.
Also my brother, no big
yeah,
deal.
Also your brother.
But they will be at Mustang on Saturday. So good luck to the cross country team as they embark on another state run, I believe. I think the
team. They make you run cross country? They don't let you drive?
What do you mean?
It's cross country. You'd think they'd let you drive. That's the only way you get me out there competing.
Like a triathlon?
They're a different breed, cross country runners. Hey, we do have some scores from 6A1 tonight. Some interesting ones to look at. Let's start with the let's start it with the finals from last night. Union beat Santa Fe 31-10. Norman North won at Moore 29-26. Edmond North won at Yukon 49-34. Owasso won at Edmond Memorial 49-42 in a shootout. And Jinx won big at Southmore 40-7. Tonight's scores: halftime, Broken Arrow leads Enid 23-14. Mustang leads Norman 19-7. And Bixby leads Westmore at halftime 36-21.
Oh,
Westmore's
okay.
put up 21 points in the first half against Bixby, which feels like a bit of a win.
Now, what you
for
said
the
though,
Jaguars.
do you think they're resting on their laurels a little bit?
I don't know.
Because
I think Westmore's the best team on the west side of the state.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
It certainly has looked that way through the early season. In Class 6A2, Choctaw is not resting. 51-0. They lead Lawton at halftime. Tahlequah 37-0 on U.S. Grant in the third quarter. Muskogee beat Booker T 63-20 last night. Muskogee's the number one team in 6A2. They can really play. Stillwater's really good as well. They beat PC West 59-0. Remind me, I'm going to tell you after this an interesting note on the Ruffers.
Okay.
Putnam City beat PC North 56-20. Sand Springs 20-17 over Bartlesville. Ponca City 48-14 on Capitol Hill, and Deer Creek beat Northwest Classic 43-6. Those finals from last night. So Muskogee's the Ruffers.
Yes.
The Ruffer was the name of a bulldog that was on a roughneck site.
Okay.
Okay? So this bulldog was named Ruffer the Bulldog, and he became their unofficial mascot.
Okay.
And somehow, I don't know, don't ask me exactly how, but Muskogee got it trademarked, and no team, no athletic team in America is able to call themselves the Ruffers except for Muskogee. They're the only team in the country named Ruffers, and it's literally illegal to name your team the Ruffers because they got an early trademark on it.
Wow.
Who knew, right?
Interesting.
Who knew?
I would also like to know about Muskogee, the famous JR, Jim Ross, very famous tagline of his is, I think it was rougher than a Friday night in Muskogee.
Nice.
I believe he would say so. Big shout out to JR, who
Very nice.
Has he been to an OU game yet this year? He always goes to at least a couple.
Probably been to one or two.
Yeah.
Probably been to one or two. We do want to thank our sponsors tonight. Again, tonight's title sponsor is Sutterfield Surveying. And, Drake, I know they're a new one on this year. Sutterfield Surveying is, so we really appreciate their sponsorship of Blanchard Lions football. Also, we just kind of go through the list. The Oasis Gas and Go, Yarborough & Sons Heating and Air, Coop's Performance Gym, Casa de Wolf Designs, Brightway Insurance, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, the LB Realty Group. Don't forget to stick around after the game for our LB Realty Group Player of the Game. Quick Wrench, First United Bank and Mortgage, 10 Arrows Roofing, Hometown Healthcare, who brought you your injury report before the game. Keeler Custom Homes, Blanchard Eye Care as well. Those are your sponsors tonight.
I actually went and saw Coop today.
Coop
at the
of
gym.
Coop's Performance Gym?
Coop of Coop's Performance Gym.
I figured that's who you were speaking of.
Right. He's doing good. Just wanted to go check up on him. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a little crazy, but I think, in the
no
in the what do you call it? In the industry that he's in, the services he provides, you got to be a little crazy when you're working as hard as he does, as often as he does. So big shout out to Coop's Performance Gym, one of the returning sponsors. In year 2 of this operation, Todd, can you believe it? This year, I will say this with full confidence: this year has gone by a whole lot faster than last year did. I don't know if
you know
it was
what you're doing.
True. Well, I like to say that I know what I'm doing. I really don't know if I am. But, yeah, I think that is completely and solely the only reason why I think this year has gone by faster was that you get a little bit more reps in. So I hope it comes through in the broadcast. But we do appreciate all the sponsors that have been with us since the beginning, and we appreciate all the new sponsors this year.
Well, it is worth noting, this will be my last game for a while.
There it
tonight.
is. God.
I'm going to be missing the next 3 weeks with different trips, with various trips is the word I was looking for. Going on a little personal vacay next week. I'm going to the Big Apple for the first time properly.
Enjoy yourself.
This time next week, I will probably be having a slice.
A slice.
Actually, I think I'll be in the air on the way back this time.
Well, you know what my
week.
favorite New York slice is from?
Sabaro.
Sabaro.
Like
Michael
Office,
Scott.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going next Thursday to Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
So looking forward to that.
Fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Is Hamilton on or off Broadway?
It's on Broadway.
It's on
the
Broadway.
Richard Rogers Theater.
Nice.
Yep, we're going to be going there. So
are you going to go to Katz's? That's the other one. Where Harry
we'll
met
probably
Sally.
go to Katz. I think
Good.
we're going to grab a slice down on Bleecker Street.
Good.
Is the plan.
Yeah.
Going to have some Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
I will be off the no-carb diet. I would like to make that announcement for next week.
I honestly would be disappointed if you were going to try and stay with it.
But I'll also probably get about 20,000 steps a day walking around Manhattan.
That is the trade-off.
Yeah. Got that going next week. And then also the following week, I'll be out of town covering, my other gig is with UCO.
Correct.
Covering the Broncos in football and basketball. UCO basketball will be in a preseason. I say a preseason tournament. Their season opening tournament is down in Lakeland, Florida at the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame.
That doesn't
They'll
sound
be
too
playing
bad.
a couple games down there.
Do you know a couple of the teams in the pool?
Yeah, so UCO is playing Mercyhurst is one of the teams.
Mercyhurst.
Mercyhurst is out of Pennsylvania. Yeah, Mercyhurst out of Pennsylvania. And then the other team is Cedarville, which is out of Ohio. They'll play them on Saturday and Sunday, November 4th and 5th. So I'll be out of town for next week's game against Bethany. I'll be out of town for the following week's game against Tecumseh, and then week 1 of the postseason, I'll be calling the final UCO football regular season game that Saturday in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and basketball plays Friday night in Tahlequah. So I'll be out the following week as well. I may be back for some of the playoff run, which hopefully ends, speaking of UCO, at UCO on November the 30th on a Thursday night this year when the Class 4A state championship is. But it's been a lot of fun this year, and I know we still got a half left tonight, and hopefully more time left after the first round of the playoffs.
Let's just say this: if you come back, it means Blanchard's putting themselves in a pretty good spot to make that state championship game.
Yep.
But to put it in a couple words for you, you're going to be a busy man the next
Very
month.
busy.
And I know it will extend past that month too, even if you are able to make it back to some games. I know that, especially with the Thunder starting up, with you heading on UCO basketball as well as, that tail end of football, this is the busy time for people like us.
No doubt. All right, we're going to come back. Let's come back in 60 seconds, and when we do, we'll start the second half of this game. Our halftime score, 33-0 the score. Blanchard leads Bridge Creek. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
Booster Club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Is it time for you?
And welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. About to get the second half underway. I want to spend one more moment here thanking tonight's sponsors. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. They're our title sponsor tonight. We also want to thank Oasis Gas & Go, Coops Performance Gym, Brightway Insurance, the LB Realty Group, First United Bank and Mortgage, Hometown Healthcare, Blanchard Eye Care, Keeler Custom Homes, 10 Arrows Roofing, Quick Wrench, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, Casa de Wolf Designs, and Yarborough & Sons Heating and Air. Blanchard won the toss. They deferred, so the Lions will get the ball to start the second half, leading 33-0. Drake, this is one of those no injuries. Maybe move the ball on the ground a little bit, get some backups in, and get out of this thing at 7-1.
Yeah, I will say I will give credit to the one thing that I think Bridge Creek defense has done pretty well, has been hampered that run game for Blanchard. But with that being said, I expect nothing less than them to maybe get a couple short to intermediate passes, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that immediate lean to the pass like we saw in that first half. I think there's enough space between Blanchard and Bridge Creek right now where, halfway through that third, I think he could start maybe subbing in some guys if you can get that score up to maybe 47.
Ojeda will kick it away. Johnson and Pierce are deep for Blanchard. standing at the 10-yard line. And Ojeda steps into it. The second half's underway. It's a short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 31, returned out to the 35, 40, 45, and slung down across midfield. Is that Tonsing on the return?
I think that's 13.
No, that wasn't. That was
20. No, it was.
It was
23.
Tonsing. Yeah, Tonsing on the return.
Goodness, sorry.
Gets it all the way to the Bridge Creek 49. That's why I bring these binoculars.
Yeah.
I need to be using them.
I know. We do have a couple of mini games though still up for grabs. Blanchard defense has not allowed Bridge Creek to move past their 50. For an offense though, maybe last week you kind of start subbing out guys like halfway through the fourth. Maybe try and get a little bit earlier this game. That's a little game within a game there.
1st and 10 at the 49 in Bridge Creek territory. It's a handoff to Perryman on a sweep running right. Perryman turns up at midfield. He gets hit and goes down. There is a flag down for looks like a hold. It's a loss of 1 on the play. And this one's going to move back 10 yards as well for a hold on Blanchard.
That was almost a similar play to the very first hold of the game on Bridge Creek. A little bit of a sweep look, tried to get that edge, and it ended up being a hold. Very appropriate that happened here on the first play on the first drive for Blanchard. Mirror image, if you will.
So Bridge Creek is going to take the penalty. So move the ball back to Blanchard's own 41-yard line. It'll be a first down and 20.
I will say Blanchard has done a pretty good job tonight when they've dug themselves a hole with penalties or whatever. They've usually dialed up a long pass. The one I go to is that little, I don't even know, an out route, I guess you would call it, but that Matthew Tonsing catch, that really good pass from Cooksey. So we'll see what they dial up here.
1st and 20 from their own 41-yard line for the Lions. Just underway second half, 33-0. Blanchard up big already. Cooksey takes the snap, fakes a handoff, throws left pass behind Johnson and incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 20 now as Trey Spencer was slow to get up for Blanchard there, and he's hobbling a little back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's the one thing that, like we said before, especially with Spencer being out most of the year with that ACL last year, that's just something you got to knock on wood twice about. Just want to get out of these games.
Maybe got hit in the gut or something. He seems to be okay.
A little hunched over.
Yeah, just kind of stretching it out a little bit. 2nd down and 20 from their own 41 for Blanchard here. Cooksey looking left, pumped, pressured, throws right side. Pierce has his man beat. It's underthrown. It's incomplete, but a flag's got to come in for pass interference. It did not. Wow. It'll be 3rd down.
Goodness. I mean, it was a good route by by Corick. Cooksey was rolling out to the right a little bit, but just a little bit underthrown. It was there was a lot of separation there. If Cooksey was able to throw that in the pocket with all of his strength behind him, I think it would have been enough for 6. But a little shock in there on the no call. But, I think Bridge Creek's gotten some calls
no doubt
against them. So
it's 33-0, so it's not in a game. But I think that was a pass interference.
I will agree with you there.
3rd down and 20. We had one called earlier that I didn't think was on Bridge Creek.
Yeah.
It's a fake handoff. Is now a screen set up. Pierce right side makes the grab. He's chased down from behind, and he's wrestled down at the 46 after only a gain of 5. That was on the tackle, Wesley Graham. And Pierce is slow to get up.
I think he might have lost his breath. That's one of those bear hug tackles where you don't really have enough you don't have any support for yourself.
Shoe.
2nd time he's lost his shoe, by the way.
We've got an official timeout for Pierce.
Yeah, that tackle was one of those you have no control where your body's going to end up going on the turf, and I think he just might have lost his breath a little bit.
4th down, Cooksey probably going to punt it away here from his own 46. Cooksey out of the gun. Does punt it. It's a good kick. Hits at the 25. It just dies, though, right at the 25-yard line. And it's going to be down there. That's a kick of 29 yards with no return. 1st and 10, Bridge Creek from their own 25 as Blanchard goes 3 and out on their opening drive of the second half.
Is that the first punt for Blanchard?
It is.
Not the start you wanted if you're the offense for Blanchard, but with that being said, your defense has really picked up the slack when you've been down all night tonight. So I expect nothing less from the defense here to start this second half, this first possession for them.
Bo James still in at quarterback, has Ryan Place as his running back to the left. James fakes a handoff, throws it in the flat left side. That's Van Sickle who makes the grab, and Perryman ushers him out of bounds after a gain of about 3 from the 25 up to the 28. And it'll be 2nd and 7.
It was a good tackle there by Perryman in space. I've been keeping an eye on Pierce. The trainer came over to look at him. Maybe it was a shoulder. He seems to be okay, though. He's able to move it around, give it a good range of motion, so I think Corrick will be all right. But just the injury bug, man. These games you never want it to happen to any player. And I think he slid by right there with nothing too serious.
2-yard gain on the play, so 2nd and 8 from the 27 for Bridge Creek. James now has Shirley in the backfield to his left. James hands it to Shirley, running right, looking to bounce outside. Tyler Hughes chases him down and pulls him down for a loss. Back at the 25 after a loss of 2, it'll be 3rd and 10 as a nice tackle from the senior, Tyler Hughes.
Tyler Hughes, one of the underrated things that we really don't get to talk about a lot is he has really good pursuit speed. If you saw it on stream, it looked like he had lost his tackle there, but he made up for it in an effort. It was a really good individual effort from him to run behind the guy and get the tackle in the backfield. It was a really good play by Tyler Hughes, the senior.
3rd down and 10 as Latham McKnight's in at running back for this 3rd down play for Bridge Creek. James takes the snap, straight drop. Looks left, throws in the flat for Place, and it's through his hands and incomplete. And it'll be 4th down.
It was an incompletion from Bridge Creek, but I think I can confidently say that the Lions would have been right there on the catch. The coverage was not bad whatsoever. Just a small intermediate pass in the flats right there. Good coverage, but no catch anyway. So if it tells you anything about where this game is when it comes to the energy level and just where we're at right now, the coaches that usually sit to the left of us in the press box are already down on the sideline. So that's just kind of where we're at right now with this game.
4th down as Ojeda will punt it away. Snaps back. It's returnable for Johnson, who's got it at the 38. Turns up at the 40 to the 45 and out to the 47-yard line. Special teams tackle made by Bryce Benson. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for Blanchard from their own 47 with 9:33 to go in this 3rd quarter.
Really need the Blanchard offense to step up here. If you've been talking about how they've started these second halves, especially going back to last week, it wasn't really pretty for the rest of that game past the first quarter, but kind of seeing the same thing here. Just because you're up 33-0 doesn't really mean anything in the end. You still want to get those reserves in. You don't want to wait until halfway through the 4th quarter for you to have to do that. So got to score a couple more, and then you can get off the field and you can worry about next week. Still got a job to do right now, though.
1st down and 10 is Cooksey. Hands it off up the middle, big hole. Mikhail Howe, 50-45. He turns back. He gets right near the sticks, and he's going to have the 1st down at the 43-yard line. It's a First United 1st down on a 10-yard run by Mikhail Howe.
I will say, though, even though it was a pretty quick drive for the offense last time out, this Bridge Creek defense has been on the field a lot for the game. So you have to wonder, even though they are coming out of halftime relatively refreshed, you have to wonder if stamina might be playing a factor into the run opening up here in the second half for Blanchard, even though it wasn't able to open up in that first.
1st and 10 at the Bridge Creek 43. It's a fake handoff. No, it's a give to Howe right at the middle. Big hole, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5. He carries a tackler into the end zone for a Blanchard Lions touchdown. 43-yard touchdown run for Mikhail Howe. He ran for 53 yards on that drive alone, and it's 39-0 Lions. And Matt Campbell will come on to try to make it a 40-burger, a touchdown brought to you by Yarborough and Sons.
Give credit to the big boys up front for Blanchard that drive. Ross Johnson, Ryder Dobbs, Trey Spencer, Blake Woods, Braden Heffernan. Really clearing the way for the first pulse that we've seen from this Blanchard run game tonight. Just a really good blocking up front, which led to Mikhail Howell, nothing but green in front of him for 6. That was a good
Extra
kick.
point from Campbell is up and good, and with 9:02 to go, it's an even 40 for the Lions. Blanchard 40, Bridge Creek 0. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon.
Welcome back. 9:02 to go in the third quarter. The Yarborough and Sons Heating and Air touchdown scored by Mikhail Howe, 43-yard touchdown. Good kick by Maldonado. Shirley returns it from the 20 out to the 25-30 and hit at the 31 and taken down. Good tackle on special teams that time. For Blanchard, that was Derek Depew on the tackle, and Rankin in there as well.
Is Ryan Spangler over there?
Braxton Rankin, excuse me.
Is Ryan Spangler over there?
I don't know. Will you quit freaking out about Ryan Spangler?
Yeah, he is. I see him.
Where?
He's right there in the slacks.
Squatting?
No, he's standing straight up. On the 38.
That's Ryan Spangler.
That is.
Okay. He's
Well,
tall.
his dad's
I know.
the coach.
It's a handoff to McKnight on first down. Big hole, runs right side for a first down and more. Out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. It's a run of about 15 on the play.
Well, I will say this. It took Bridge Creek potentially longer to get past the 50 than it took Classen SAS. So I think this mini game that might be coming to a conclusion here soon can be considered a new high score if you want to go that way.
Spangler had a big game in Bedlam that year. You remember?
What year?
Whatever year he was a senior. First and 10 at the 47. Handoff right up the middle to Shirley. He pings around and he's wrestled down after no gain. And on the play that time, that was Braden Stacy who got in. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I remember going to the Bridge Creek Douglas State Championship game back in, oh gosh, I don't even know what year that would have been, 2013, 2012 maybe. But that was also when Stevie Clark was a part of that Douglas group, and he could not miss that night. And I don't really think you could say he was off on most of the nights he played for Douglas.
There's a play fake and a pass in the flat left side. Pass complete across midfield is placed into Blanchard territory, and Reynolds finally wrestles him down, but not before he's got a first down at the Blanchard 41-yard line. First time into Blanchard territory. This one's on a 12-yard gain. By the way, 71-49, OU won that game. Spangler's last game, it was senior day for, oh no, I lost it, for OU. 26 points, career high.
Nice.
For Ryan Spangler in that game. Scored 15 of OU's final 17 points. That's off the top of my head. I didn't Google it.
It's really easy for us, and I know that we've talked about this in the past, of just the best basketball players from the state of Oklahoma. Like, I don't think I could make a list of the top 5 for football.
Shirley on a sweep going right, has room down inside the 35, still running to the 34 before Braden Stacy finally pulls him back. It's a nice run, though, 7 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 3.
And that's simply because I don't have a deep knowledge of high school football history in the state of Oklahoma compared to.
Well, how far back you want to go? You want to go to
just all time?
Forever? I mean, Jim Thorpe's got to be up there, right?
That's about the only one that, I mean, there's just been a whole influx of talent. If we really started, like, you got to put Sam Bradford up there, right?
There's Hall of Famers up there.
It's not as clear on my mind.
2nd down, there's a handoff to McKnight running right, and not a lot there. He's going to be wrestled down by Gage Ellison, who gets him after a loss of 1. Back at the 35, it'll be 3rd down and 4. I mean, the Selman brothers out of Eufaula were pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Leroy Selman, the best of those 3.
Whole lot of talent from the 918.
He's a Hall of Famer. Troy Aikman's a Hall of Famer out of Henrietta.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole host of guys out of the 918. 3rd down and 4 for Bridge Creek. 5:39 to go third quarter at the Blanchard 35. Handoff right up the middle to McKnight, and he's going to get about 2 yards to the 33 and be driven back. It'll be 4th down. And Bridge Creek's going to go for it here, down 40-0.
Good job by the Blanchard defense, though. I know we've been kind of talking about football, etc. on this drive, but, Bridge Creek finally getting some sort of momentum for the first time in this game on offense. But, once they get into that Blanchard territory, they've held fast on their defensive stance.
4th down and 2 at the Blanchard 33. Pistol formation, hard count. Nobody jumps. Another hard count again. Again, nobody jumps. And Bridge Creek's going to use a timeout. We'll take it with them. 4:48 to go in the third. 40-0 Blanchard leads. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Welcome back. 40-0 our score. Big 4th down play for Bridge Creek at the Blanchard 33-yard line. 4th and 2 for the Bobcats. 4:48 to go third quarter. Blanchard with the lead 40-0. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. Title sponsor of tonight's game. 6 touchdowns tonight scored. Yarborough and Sons touchdowns by Blanchard. We've got a player running on late for Bridge Creek. Play clock at 4 as James takes the snap. He looks, he throws, pass complete, 1st down. A good catch by Van Sickle. Inside the 30 to the 29-yard line for a gain of 4 on a 4th down and 2.
Just a quick pass there from Bridge Creek. All right, I've started another mini game for this Blanchard defense. This first time that Bridge Creek's gained this much ground on one single drive. Don't let them get to the goal line now.
First and 10, Bridge Creek at the Blanchard 29. McKnight is behind James, the quarterback. It's a handoff to McKnight, running left. He spins, and then he's driven to the turf by Tyler Hughes, who came in and hit him hard after a gain of just 1 at the 28. Tyler Hughes has had a nice game, certainly putting his name in the hat.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it a lot, but I really don't think how we can't understate it, how physical of a tackler he is, how physical of a runner he is on the few times that he's been in the running back slot.
Handoff McKnight running right. He is hit and driven backwards at the 31. Good open field tackle, and guess who? Tyler Hughes on the tackle. Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and long at the 31. Hughes is cramping up a little, I think, and he's going to need some assistance.
Yeah, like
Two straight tackles for a loss for Tyler Hughes.
Like I was saying, though, there are just things that will not show up on the stat sheet. It gets said all the time in basketball, especially for the bigs, but in football, just how physical of a runner you are. If you're running downhill, taking tacklers with you, tacklers having to pull you down instead of, actually exerting enough force to tackle you head on. That is Tyler Hughes in a nutshell. He is such a, whether it be in that running back slot, or we can just talk about the defense where he plays most, whether it be on a blitz, in coverage. I mean, you feel Tyler Hughes' presence if you're the opposing team and you have the ball in your hands. It's something that, unless you see it for your own eyes, it's something that will never show up in the stat sheet.
Hughes is walking gingerly. I think just cramping up a little bit. As we'll get back to it on a 3rd and 12, for Bridge Creek. At the Blanchard 31-yard line. 3:18 to go third quarter. Still 40-0 Blanchard on top. Some of our sponsors for Blanchard football tonight. Blanchard Eye Care, Keeler Custom Homes, 10 Arrows Roofing, First United Bank and Mortgage, the LB Realty Group, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, Quick Wrench, Hometown Healthcare. Thanks to all of them for their sponsorship of Blanchard Lions football. James, play action, rolling to his left, steps into one, throws deep, middle of the field, has a man open. It's through his hands and incomplete. In the end zone, wide open. The pass was dropped by Palmer, and it'll be 4th down for Bridge Creek.
A little bit of a dial-up of a misdirection play there from Bridge Creek. I think a couple of the Blanchard defenders bit on the fake handoff, and that's what ended up getting that wide receiver so open for Bridge Creek. It's a great throw, just a completely missed
How about this?
missed ball.
How about a 48-yard field goal from Ojeda?
Oh, boy. Does Bridge Creek have soccer? That's the first question we need to go to. Every time there's a kicker, it's not an extra point.
This is Jacob Ojeda, who's going to try one from the right hash from 48 yards. This would be a heck of a kick if he can pull it off.
Longest of the season for us, either team?
The kick has enough leg. The kick is up, and he missed it wide left. No good. And Blanchard will take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 with 2:11 to go in the third.
I'm looking up the schedule because Bridge Creek has not scored yet. Has Blanchard held an opponent scoreless yet this game or this year?
Don't think so.
Let me double check real quick. If you want to talk about mini games, that's pretty much the one you might want to hang your hat on if you end up keeping Bridge Creek scoreless here.
So Blanchard takes over at the 20.
Funny enough, the opponent who has scored the least amount of points against Blanchard this year, any guesses?
Tuttle?
20-6.
That makes sense, yeah.
So Blanchard with an opportunity to do something they haven't done yet this season. Rio Reynolds in at quarterback.
Reynolds hands off on 1st down and not a lot there. It's going to be a loss on that 1st down run as that's Sherman, Brody Sherman in at running back now. We got Derek Depew in at receiver now. So is Reston Vickery out there as well for Blanchard. Some new faces on the offensive line as Jake Carter is out there. I believe that's Caleb Greenwood out there as well at right tackle.
Greenwood's hurt. Maybe
no,
a different number.
Sorry, 67. My bad.
That's okay.
Isaiah Drake who's out there.
Hey, partial.
The handoff up the middle. Sherman, nice run. He somersaults across the 20 to the 23 for a gain of about 6. It'll be 3rd down and long.
I will say this.
From the 23.
The 2 mini challenges that we've put up to this Blanchard team tonight, they have both exceeded. The first one was holding your opponent past the 50 longer than you did against Klassen. And the other one on offense was, goodness gracious, I'm forgetting it. We'll come back to it.
Oh, run the ball better. They got a 43-yard touchdown. Right?
Wasn't
that
one?
the yeah?
Gosh. Now I'm going to be thinking about this all night.
Deshaun Greer out there as well for Blanchard on this 3rd down and long play. Reynolds hands off to Sherman. Big loss on the play. He's going to lose back inside the 20 to the 18.
Getting the reserves out there quicker than last game. That was it. So you've succeeded both in this short amount of time that the reserves have been out there. But it's always exciting to see what the new faces of Blanchard football for years to come will be. Had it a couple of times last year, but I think they might just run it out.
Yep, Blanchard's going to let the 3rd quarter in, and they'll punt on the first play of the 4th quarter. 40-0, our score after 3. Blanchard with the lead. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutter Field Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today.
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. About to get underway here in the 4th quarter, 4th and 12. As I would imagine, Blanchard's going to punt it away here.
It was Little League night, by the way. I don't know if we said that, but just to kind of put it in perspective, I'll say a little bit about Little League night after this play.
Campbell's going to punt it away. We haven't seen him in punt formation much. And the snap goes through his hands. He picks it up. He's going to take off running with it, and he's going to get tackled back inside the 10-yard line at the 9.
I don't know if that was a situation where it was just a bad snap or he wasn't necessarily ready for the snap, but gets a nice pick-me-up there from Coach Craig.
I think they were trying something new there.
Maybe.
And it didn't work out.
Well, that kind of kills the third mini game that we had going on, didn't it? Not allowing a score for one team for the first time.
At this point, I think the mini game should be get this game over with as quick as possible, if I'm being totally honest with you.
Yeah.
Get some reserves out there, get them some time, and get the clock moving, which we still have not done yet. And now we finally put the ball into play. 1st and goal for Bridge Creek at the Blanchard 9. James has McKnight behind him. James hands off to McKnight right up the middle, and he gains about a yard before he's taken down. And by the way, I thought that was Tyler Hughes. It was not. That was Blake Woods that came in and got him. So it's a 1-yard gain. Is Hughes still out there?
Number 8. Yes, he is.
There he is, yeah. Second down goal at the 8-yard line. Clock running, 11:23 to play in the game. 40-0, Blanchard up big. The Lions going to improve to 7-1 on the year. 5-0 in district as James rolls right, throws, pass, tipped, nearly picked off. It's going to fall incomplete through the hands of Walker Hill. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Good recognition there from big Ben Hefner to see the receiver drop out there in the flats. Even if he would have caught that ball, Ben would have been right there. Big club on his right hand. Club's the politically correct term, right?
Yeah.
Club. Cast.
Got a big cast, yeah.
God, feels like he's had that on forever. Since, week 3, I want to say? He had it on way back when I interviewed him back at the coaches show, but I can't remember what week that was. I think it might have been week 3.
3rd down and goal from the 8. 4 receivers left. It's a throw left side to McKnight. McKnight's to the 5. He's wrestled down at about the 4. He got about half of it. It'll be 4th and goal, and we'll see if the Blanchard Lions defense can keep him out of the end zone here.
Well, shoot, I may have spoken too early. This defense has done nothing but accept any of the challenges that are come their way, whether it be shortcomings of offense, not getting much help from that other side of the ball. They've been very dominant in pretty much every facet of this game, and now they can add another badge if they hold here, a goal line stand for this Blanchard defense.
4th down and goal at the 4. It's going to be a field goal attempt for Ojeda.
Oh, that's no fun.
To break up the shutout. It'll be a 21-yarder. The snap and hold are good. The kick from Ojeda is up, and he hit it. 10:21 to go, and Bridge Creek's on the board. It's Blanchard 40, Bridge Creek 3. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. This is Blanchard Lions football.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher.
Welcome back. 10:21 to go. A 21-yard field goal by Jacob Ojeda has put Bridge Creek on the board. As deep for Blanchard to receive the kickoff is Vickery and Sherman. And it's a short kick. And it's going to be picked up by Vickery at the 20. Up the field to the 25. Still on his feet. Lowers his head at the 29. And that's where he'll be taken down. So the Blanchard offense will come back out with backup quarterback Rio Reynolds out there in the shotgun formation on 1st and 10.
You know what I think we're going to see out of Blanchard this drive? Slow, methodical run dominance. I'll put my house that I don't own on it.
Asher McCaffrey in at running back. Also got Clayton Bartlett out there at wide receiver. For Blanchard on a 1st down and 10 from their own 29-yard line. 10:15 to go in the game. McCaffrey to the left of Reynolds. McCaffrey gets the handoff running right. Patient, but the hole closes quickly, and he's going to lose a couple yards back to the 27. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
It makes me wonder about last week. Remember when Klassen started to do the running clock a little bit? Or at least we thought they did, and then Klassen actually started to do something, then they stopped. Is that technically legal?
What do you mean?
Doing the running clock, period?
No, I mean, both coaches have to agree on it.
Oh, so it is.
Yeah, I mean, if the
it's
game's
said
out of
ahead
hand,
of
coaches
time.
Can't agree on it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did not know that was a question that would be asked to both, and then I just didn't know that whole process.
Reynolds throwing passes through the hands of his receiver and nearly picked off. Tried to hit Derek Depew. And it'll be 3rd and 12.
Just a little bit behind Depew there for Reynolds, but no, hasn't gotten a whole lot of throws in his time at quarterback, but it's always good to see the senior.
Bridge Creek's making this really tough here because Coach Craig, I know, wants to run the ball and run the clock, but Bridge Creek is just blitzing everybody every play.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, if you want us to put our backups out there, if they're just going to get blitzed by 9 people, I mean, what are you going to do? 3rd down. Reynolds out of the gun. Hands off to McCaffrey. No, Reynolds keeps it, runs right. He got hit hard out across the 30 to the 33. It's a decent game before Ryan Place took him down.
Really good to see there. Really good to see there from Rhea, though. I totally thought he had handed it off, but really good keep there. A little scary hit. I kind of wince a little bit when those helmet-to-helmet hits happen, but really good keeper there from Reynolds to get some good yardage.
4th and 6 at the 33. Reynolds in the gun. Hands off to McCaffrey running right. And McCaffrey's going to get about a yard to the 34. And Bridge Creek will take over on downs. Want to thank our sponsors tonight. Oasis Gas and Go, Yarborough & Sons Heating and Air, Coops Performance Gym, Casa de Wolf Designs, Brightway Insurance, Craig and Straight Orthodontics. Thanks to their sponsorship of Blanchard Lions football.
I will say this. This game has not been close for a large portion of it. But with that being said, the crowd has shown up tonight in a good way, and they've stayed, most of them.
It always amazes me that a game can be 33-0 at halftime and 40-0 now, and this quarter and a half has taken longer than the entire first half. It's wild to me how that happens. James pitches one underneath the Van Sickle on a sweep, running right, and of course he's going to run out of bounds and stop the clock with at the 37-yard line after just 7 seconds runs off the clock. Because that makes a lot of sense. 3-yard loss.
Now this leads me to this question, Todd. Do you think that question has been asked to most coaches with the running clock? Does Coach Spangler for Bridge Creek?
It's not that out of hand.
No?
No.
37 with 8 minutes to go?
No, it's not that out of hand.
I mean, it wasn't that out of hand at Classen, though, but they started doing it.
I think they did it because they weren't paying attention. I don't think they did it because they were asked to do it. I'm serious. I think it was a bad clock operator.
Oh, okay.
2nd and 13 from the 37. It's a pitch to Shirley running left. Shirley's at the 35. He's to about the 31-yard line before he's tackled. Gain of about 6. Hey, he stayed in bounds. Clock's running. 3rd and 7 coming up.
It's a good tackle.
Vickery in on the tackle there.
That was a good tackle by Vickery. I thought the edge was broken there for a second, but good job on Vickery making up the loose ground and getting a good tackle for a 3rd and long here.
Third down 7 at the Blanchard 31 for Bridge Creek. James, low snap, straight drop, throws right side, pass caught. Inside the 30 is Gage Ellison. Wrestles the receiver down. That was Bryce Benson, who gets it to the 27-yard line. 3 yards short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 3 as Derek Depew in there on the stop as well.
Oh, I almost forgot to talk about the Little League night thing I was wanting to get to. I'll say it after this 4th down play if Blanchard can hold its stand here.
What are you saying? If they don't hold it, you're not going to talk about Little League at all?
I will, but it'll be a little segmented, I guess.
4th down and 3. Shirley in the pistol. It's a fake handoff. Rolling left is James. He throws in the flat. Pass complete. First down, 25-20, 15-10. Down inside the 5 and into the end zone for a touchdown. That's Walker Hill on the touchdown reception.
We have a Bridge Creek fan that has made their way to the Blanchard stands.
And with 6:49 to go, it's 40-9, Blanchard on top.
I'll be honest that she may have been there the whole time. This is just the first time that Bridge Creek has gotten in the end zone, so maybe that was the only cause for celebration. Let me get back to the Little League night diatribe that I wanted to go on. So I was talking to Coach Craig on Tuesday, and before I end the shows, I always like to. I guess
Extra
I'll have
point's
to get
good.
back
We'll
on
keep
me.
it right here during the break.
So I was talking to Coach Craig, and I usually like to end the shows if there's anything special going on during the games to let the fans know if they need to know anything before coming to the game. Obviously, tonight's Little League night, and I just want to put this into perspective as someone who has been, who is a Blanchard alum and who has seen multiple Little League nights. Way back when I was in high school, when they used to play at the old football field by the baseball field, Little League nights happened at halftime. They started at halftime and they ended at halftime because there was a whole lot less kids in Little League period that are from Blanchard, a part of Blanchard teams. So when I asked Coach Craig that question on Tuesday, hey, do the fans need to know anything before coming to the game? I don't know if maybe if you get here at a certain time, maybe get here a little earlier because there's going to be a lot more cars here than usual. Not only did we have Little League night at halftime, we also had Little League night pregame as well. If that tells you, if that puts into perspective how much Blanchard has grown, even since I've been in school, which I graduated in 2017. So not even a decade plus, and there's just an influx of kids coming to Blanchard. And it's just kind of crazy to see as someone who's seen it from both sides, being a part of Little League night and seeing Little League night. Blanchard's growing, and it's growing very fast.
Short kick taken by Depew at the 35, and he returns it up to the 41-yard line, 42-yard line. That's where Blanchard will have it 1st and 10. That was beautiful, Drake.
It's honestly crazy to see. I mean, I'm sure you can speak a little bit on it about Luther. I mean, what class was Luther when you were in school?
We were Class A. They're 2A now. They've gotten a little bigger, not much. But also there's so many more people moving out to this area.
Right. I mean, it helps being close to the highway. Being so close to, you know, a town, a city like Norman. I mean, there are benefits.
Reynolds at quarterback, and we've got a stoppage of play.
That isn't Reynolds. It's
Oh, it's not. You're right.
13.
Yeah. That's Shattuck Swires in at quarterback.
Nice.
For the play, we've got a penalty on Blanchard.
That's an all-time name for this team. Shattuck's.
Swires.
Swires. Double S.
So moves the ball back 5 yards. Start the clock. 6:42 to go. Clock stopped. Swires has Sherman to his right on 1st down. Takes the snap and hands to Sherman, running left, excuse me. And Sherman gets back to the line of scrimmage before he is driven down.
Good on us for staying in this game, just because of how out of hand it got, but also shout out to the great Nate as well, right? He's here with us. Endure. If the players can, we can too, right?
That's true.
We're doing our jobs at a high level, I'd like to say. Well, Todd at a high level. I'm here. I'm present. Period.
Everything's a lot better when people do their jobs, right?
Yeah. I'd wholeheartedly agree with that, actually.
Yep. 2nd down, 15. Under 6 minutes to play now in the ball game. Swires hands off to Sherman again, running right up the middle, and Sherman gets about a yard before he's driven backwards.
I'm just looking over to the Bridge Creek sideline now. They don't really have a whole ton of kids, do they?
Nope.
Bridge Creek band showed up tonight, though. After realizing that class in SAS didn't have a band.
A little nicer digs than we had last year at Bridge Creek for our broadcast.
Yeah, that was an all-timer, wasn't it? Was that the only game
No, I
we
think
were
the
on?
all-timer was when you had us in the snow in the playoffs, Drake. I think that's the all-timer.
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Fond memory, though. Always,
Third and 14 from the 38.
always fond in retrospect.
Swires hands to Sherman again, breaks a tackle, 40-45, and out to the 46. Or Swires hands to Sherman, my bad. Sherman runs to the 46.
What grade is Sherman in? Is he a freshman or a sophomore?
Freshman.
I can't wait.
He's a good-looking player for a freshman. He's made a couple of special teams tackles tonight as well. It's 4th and 6.
I mean, if he continues to be a power runner, I mean, you got to make the Sherman take reference, right? At some point? Like, that's just an easy bridge.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
And now he's limping off.
McCaffrey's back in at running back on 4th and 6. Swires looks to the sideline, and now Blanchard's going to take a timeout. 4:11 to go, 40-10 is our score. Blanchard with the lead. Tonight's game brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. You're listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on.
Welcome back. 4th down. Swire's going to throw, pass nearly intercepted at midfield. And Bridge Creek will take over on downs at the 46-yard line in Blanchard territory. 5 seconds ran off the clock on that play. 4:06 to go, 40-10.
Hey,
Blanchard with the lead.
You can say
this fourth quarter is like maple syrup dripping out of a tree.
Yeah.
It is a very slow burn.
What else is it like? Can you give me another example?
Is it like 1,000
paper cuts?
No, it's not. I mean, it's fine. Blanchard's winning the game. The kids are getting reps. It's just a lot more incompletions than I feel like are necessary for a fourth quarter in a blowout game. But, you know, everyone's having fun. 1st and 10 at the Blanchard 46 for Bridge Creek. It's a handoff by McKnight running left, and he's going to be tackled as Sherman comes into the backfield and makes a play. Loss of 3 on the play. New quarterback in the game for Bridge Creek is Keaton Morrow, the sophomore.
Sherman playing in a safety spot? Linebacker?
Kind of playing a linebacker
I was about
spot.
to say, I just felt like he came out of nowhere in the backfield. That was a really good pursuit angle.
Yeah, outside linebacker.
From Sherman, and a really great
He's playing
tackle.
that same position that Tyler Hughes plays, and we see him run out there and make plays so often. 2nd down and 13 from the 49. Morrow hands off, ball's fumbled, picked up, and this is Watkins who runs it all the way back down inside the 40 to the 35. Cole Watkins on the fumble recovery, and Blanchard will have it 1st and 10 at the Bridge Creek 35.
Really great recovery there by Watkins, being able to establish where the ball is. It's a great defensive stand there, a great defensive takeaway from the young group that was out there.
1st and 10 at the Bridge Creek 35. Swires takes the snap, hands it to McCaffrey right up the middle. McCaffrey's hit hard after about 2 yards to the 33. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Caven Sugg in on the tackle. 2nd down, 8 coming up. Rolling under 3 minutes to play.
Bethany last year was also interesting for us because I think that was our first game with other people in the same room for that year. Remember the camera crew to the right of us? And that
such a weird random thing to bring up
but
for no reason. Nobody cares about that. 2nd down and 8. Hand off to McCaffrey up the middle, breaks a tackle, finds room to the 30, spinning down all the way to the 26. Well, I do know what you're talking about, but nobody cares.
But the reason I remember that is because do you remember the room itself? It was so weird. It was like a weird L shape, but the part where they were was so thin, and I don't like. Why didn't you use the rest of that wall going out? You know what I'm
nobody
saying?
cares.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying it was weird.
3rd and 1 for Blanchard at the Bridge Creek 26.
Who cares?
It's very random. I don't know.
Oh, we got Bethany next week. It's not out of nowhere.
I've called a lot of high school football games. There's been some really weird spots I've called games from. Swires hands to McCaffrey right up the middle. Did he get the first down? It's going to be close. He's a little short. It's going to be 4th down. Clock will roll down to about a minute to play. And if Blanchard can get a first down here, they can finish this one off on a 4th down and less than a yard.
Is that just a sub, a ref timeout?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Fourth down, less than a yard as the clock rolls. Shattuck Swires getting a little run at quarterback here, the freshman. He's got another freshman, Asher McCaffrey, in the backfield with him. 4th down. Swires hands off to McCaffrey. He's got the first down inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. That'll move the chains, and that'll end this ball game, as Blanchard should be able to hand it off just a few more times now and get out of here with a win. In fact, one more handoff should do it. Blanchard's going to win it tonight. 40-10 is going to be your final score. And the Lions will improve to 7-1, 5-0 in district play. By the way, that first down that clinches it, a First United first down.
That's great. Brought to you by the freshmen of Blanchard.
Final play of the game here is McCaffrey's to the left of Swires. Swires hands to Asher McCaffrey, running right to the 20 and slung down at about the 17-yard line, and that's how this one will come to an end. 40-10, our final score. Blanchard wins it. Drake, your final thoughts on this game?
Big picture, looking at these past couple of weeks, mission accomplished. It wasn't maybe the prettiest ball that's been played all year, the games that we've seen, but at the end of the day, being 2-0 these past couple of weeks, heading into Bethany next week, really important. I think the defense stepped up in a huge way tonight. Bridge Creek was not going to be having anything with the Blanchard defense that we saw out there. Offense looked a little shaky in that first quarter, but I think everything came together by the end of the game. And we kind of spoke to it in the 2 mini games that we brought. We got to see the backups, the reserves in there a lot earlier. And Bridge Creek didn't do a whole lot moving the ball on offense until the very end of the game. So I think big picture, moving on to Bethany, mission accomplished. Maybe a couple of things to tool with the offense. We're going to have a lot more players back out there next week, though. Reagan Palmer, Caleb Greenwood, Brayson Carter, all, I assume, will be coming back for next week's game against Bethany, which, Todd, as we talked about, is a game that, it's pretty much – this is the driver's seat game for Blanchard. You win, and you end up getting first in district, notwithstanding a crazy happening against Tecumseh.
Yeah, 2 home games. You don't have to go on the road like you did last year at Cushing in the second round.
Tecumseh's at
Tecumseh, yep.
Yep.
All right, big thanks to lots of people before we get out of here tonight. Reeves Mitchell back in studio, the great Nate here, everyone part of the camera crew as well here, Drake. We thank them always for their help.
Yeah, they do nothing but a good job.
Everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And also, not only not only all Ashley Robertson and everyone else involved in the back, but you, sir. This might potentially be your last game this year.
I hope not. That means Blanchard got beat early in the playoffs.
Right, but we have to do this just in case it is. But we like to say thank you, big thank you to our sponsors. They really truly couldn't do it without. We couldn't do it without them. But I will say to you, I truly couldn't do this without you.
Well, thank you, brother. I wouldn't do it if I didn't appreciate it and enjoy it.
You bring an element to commentary in general that is unlike any that that can be replicated, and I truly appreciate
I'm
you.
A
and you're
old man. I'm a 41-year-old crotchety old man.
By the way,
and I'm glad
thank you.
You've put up with me again this year. This is me signing off for the regular season. I should be back for the playoff run for Blanchard, but I'll be out the next couple of weeks and then possibly the first playoff game as well. So one more time before I get out of here tonight, thanks to Blanchard Eye Care, Keeler Custom Homes, Hometown Healthcare, 10 Arrows Roofing, First United Bank and Mortgage, Quick Wrench, the LB Realty Group. Let's announce our LB Realty Group player of the game, first timer tonight.
Yeah.
He didn't get in the end zone, but he did make a lot of big plays on both sides of the ball. Drake?
Tyler Hughes.
I
kind of raved about his physicality. He's easily, I think, one of the most physical guys on this team. And honestly, there were a lot of times where he'd probably be, if we did an offensive and defensive player of the game, there would probably be a lot of times that he would get that honor. But no, he was everywhere. Blanchard dialed it up a little bit in the pressure, and he was always in the backfield. Tyler Hughes easily the LB Realty Group player of the game tonight. Great job, Tyler.
Craig and Straight Orthodontics, Brightway Insurance, Casa de Wolf Designs, Coops Performance Gym, Yarborough & Sons Heating and Air, Oasis Gas and Go, and of course tonight's title sponsor, tonight's game has been brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. We appreciate each and every one of them for their support of Blanchard Lions football. All right, you guys will be back next week for another home game, senior night here, the last regular season home game next week against Bethany. The Lions win it tonight. They improve to 7-1 on the season. Most importantly, 5-0 in district play. Blanchard stays undefeated in district and wins it over Bridge Creek tonight by a final score of 40-10. For the great Nate, for Drake Vitito, for Reeves Mitchell back in studio as well, my name is Todd Lisenby. Wishing you a good night tonight. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Sutterfield Surveying. Blanchard wins it 40-10. You've been listening to Blanchard Lions football.